we're good.
Bussin' with the boys, hanging with the fellas, betting on a game. No woman's gonna tell us what to do, and I've been over here just drinking beer and making that noise. Baby, I'm hanging with the fellas, bussin' with the boys.
Bro.
Welcome into another episode of Bussin' with the Boys. This is episode 391. Creeping, looking behind the curtain. We're on the corner of episode 400, sneaking up on a big guest we're going to hopefully get for that one. As always, Bussin' with the Boys is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. Now, if you're scoping out a few weeks of the baseball games, FanDuel is giving you another reason to lock in beginning Thursday. You can claim a profit boost in the FanDuel app and use it on any bet type for that day's MLB action. That's any type of bet, whether it's money line, player prop, totals, home run bets. Jesus, I'm having a hard time with this ad read. Whatever catches your eye, all you've got to do is open the app, tap claim now, and apply your profit boost before you place your wager. So whether you're backing your ace to get the job done, shooting for a slugger to hit one out of the park, or have a same game parlay that puts it all together, this is your chance to make a win a little sweeter. Head to FanDuel.com/bussin to get started. FanDuel, your home for home runs. Our guest today is also our host, William Earl Compton III. He sent me a nice little text message around 5 p.m. Hey, 103 degree fever. I'm dying. I can't sleep. My throat's closing up. What's going on? I'm going to try to make it to work tomorrow. I hit the quick pause button on that. Jeremy Klump, he's got a young baby at home. Myself, I got a 10-day-old at home at this point. So it's like, do whatever you got to do, but do it in your own time in your own location, buddy, because we're not going to have it. So we took out Will and we brought in just an absolute legend of the game. College football is right around the corner. You see his tweets every Saturday, counting them down when it comes to the cornfields. He's sitting there looking up. Brandon Walker out there trying to take his game and make it his own. He is the commissioner of college football. He's the one, the only, Joshua Pate. Give him a round of applause. It's an honor to have you on the bus once again, sir.
You know I'm happy to be here.
I know you are.
Always happy to be here.
This is I wouldn't say your #1 favorite stop in July. However, a favorite top 20, top 100 stop in July.
I first thing Monday morning is Compton text. Second thing Monday morning, as you and I are recording, is you caught that this morning.
I did.
Of talking about my favorite stops in July.
Yeah. Favorite
Self-esteem
stops.
booster important, though.
You
You don't
gotta
need
have it.
one. You don't need one. Other people do.
Relationships, self-esteem booster. You got to find the people out there in the world that need a little juice, and you give it to them, and they'll remember it forever.
Yeah.
And that's what's important.
It is. So I'm happy to be here. I just hate the circumstances.
Yeah. You've had a lot going on the last couple of weeks. One thing for sure is that there was news in a universe that we used to live in where a guy is leaving a show and starting his own show. I don't know if this is the 2.0 version or not, but Brandon Walker has said that he is doing his own college football show.
Yes.
Since then, he's kind of taken a weird approach of, I don't know if he's mocking you, if he's trying to duplicate you, if he's doing all the things, he just sees what you're doing. He's like, I'm going to do that. Let me get an AI version of myself with a stronger chin in a video of a cornfield. How does that make you feel, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Well, it's got to be how McDonald's felt when Burger King popped up on the street corner. But the thing about that, Burger King does great.
They do well.
They do wonderful. They make tons of money every year.
Yeah.
Not McDonald's.
No, not
But
McDonald's.
who is?
No one.
Who is? So Mima always told me, you want to know if you're a leader, look over your shoulder. And I look over my shoulder. It's not ideal to see Brandon Walker, but at least someone's behind me. At least someone's there.
Yeah, that's got to be, it's interesting. It's like, okay, I have a fun follower. That's exciting. But also it's that guy. And that can be tough sometimes, right? You don't get to choose who follows you.
No, you don't.
You don't have that.
But you need to acknowledge it. It's got to be tough. It's got to be a pressure cooker for him, though. It's one thing if you can be on camera, you got a lot of other people to support you and help you out, and you're there on Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Casey's there, T-Bob's there, whoever's there, because if you screw up, you just throw it off on them. But when you go solo, like you almost had to do today, when you go solo, it's you.
By
you
yourself.
Sink or swim
No doubt.
because of you. You succeed or fail because of yourself. And if you've got the endless resources that he's going to have to work with up there,
If you fail, it's 100% on you.
do you even show your face anymore?
Man in the arena. Man in the arena. Brandon Walker staring down the barrel of a very, very high caliber gun going into this fall is what you're saying. Figuratively, not literally.
Yeah.
Not literally. Dude, football is 6 weeks away.
Unbelievable.
I can't believe it's almost here. I remember getting juiced up in, just below the waistline when I saw you posting 11 weeks away. I was like, oh my God, look at this.
Yep.
This is it's really so close. And now truly, after this week, we're in August. We're essentially 1 month away from the greatest 4 or 5 months of our entire life.
Yeah, I never used to take July off. Now, I'm not gonna go as far as to say I took it off because I've done a lot of work in July.
Absolutely.
I've had the sleeves rolled up in July. It's just been a lot of behind the curtain stuff. But I always thought, well, if you took a month and you didn't do a show, would that be like folding the hose pipe in the garden, and then once you let the hose pipe go, the water just sprays everywhere? Or would people just forget about you? Mm-hmm. How long would July feel? I feel like July has felt every bit as long as the 26, 27-ish days that we are into it so far. Went to the beach for the first time.
How was that?
Took a vacation for the first time in 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah. I had not taken a vacation day. So we built the show up for 5 years. It was time to take a little bit of a vacation. Hit some media days last week in Tampa. Got a few more stops up my sleeve, if you will. Mm-hmm. Before we hit the ground running and start the show's season next week. But July has been very, as you can see, it's been very eclectic for me.
You look rested. You look like you've gotten what you've needed out of that 5-year stint and get a little break. And you look like you're ready for another 5 years straight. Dude, one thing that I have a hard time with, vacations. Like I always we'll go down to the beach like you did. We'll travel to Canada where my wife is from. We'll take the family and stuff like that. And I do relax during those points. But I don't know if you feel this way, but doing what Will and I do for a job, 365, you kind of feel like you don't have to take a vacation. It's so much fun. Like there's points like I think when you get to that second week in February and the Super Bowl is there, you're like, wow, I could really use 10 days without some football. 10 days at that point. It's crazy to say that now in July. But do you ever feel that way doing what you've done and hearing you last time you were on the show, doing the CBS, sitting in the car, talking to yourself, they walk in segments on the radio, you turn it down so you just kind of finish the segment and getting to that point now to where you are now? Does it feel like you work or does it feel like, this is awesome? It
is a lot different. If you do something you like to do for a living or if you love to do it for a living, you don't long for that 2-week stretch.
Right.
The same way that maybe like I would have if I were working former jobs I used to work. That was horrible. That was like
mainstream media.
Death march. Not even that, before that. Hey, at least in media, at least you're kind of covering what you love, even if you're not doing it on your terms all the time. But this is, it was mainly like when you're gone, if I'm gone 72 hours, okay. But anything beyond 3 days, you start to think, what is this itch?
Yeah.
One of my kneecaps, one of my elbows feel a little itchy. It's not just the pre-workout I just took. What is that? Well, it's kind of missing out because you've never taken a 72-hour chunk and been silent about college football in the past half decade. So that's a little bit of a... Got to peel away sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to pop out on the deck, answer some emails, maybe fire some tweets off, check the YouTube analytics, maybe post a short you had saved in drafts for a rainy day. That sort of thing.
Just put something out there to see if you still have it.
Yeah. Do they remember?
Do people understand what's going to take place this fall or have they forgotten about me already?
I hope they understand.
They do.
I don't think they do. I don't even think we understand.
We definitely don't. I saw some crazy rumors last week too.
Internet.
And I know like usually when shows get into things, they're like, oh, the juiciest, these two guys, they want to talk about the one subject that came up about them. They should leave it to the end of the show so people stay longer and they want to know that information. We're not good at our shows. Well, I'm not good at the show.
No.
So what was your thought process when you saw a crazy article come out about the legendary one-of-one Josh Pate, who owns the area of college football and is the next great thing, plus Bussin With The Boys has their own show on ESPN?
Well, I assume that you're talking about things that sort of semi-broke last week in the rumor mill. You know how the internet and media can be. I'll just say this. I saw those reports just like you did.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, if there's validity to those reports, wow, what a concept. Wow, what a time those guys could have.
Right.
If those reports are real. Now,
only if those reports are real.
We understand how to qualify all reports with the word allegedly. There's a lot of hearsay. There's a lot of innuendo out there. But all I'm saying is college football is the number 2 sport in this country. And said network that the reports linked those 3 men to, it's the biggest sports media network on the planet.
In the world.
So if that sports media network, conglomerate, if you will, behemoth, were to lean more into college football, it's got to be a win for America. Not just for the people involved. It's got to be a win for America.
I mean, my God, yeah. Like allegedly, if this show were to take place, this would be the biggest win America's seen in the last 250 years.
Now, here's what wouldn't be a win.
Okay.
If it's just a whole bunch of frat bro culture sprayed all over your TV screen.
That's disgusting.
That's
we
not
can't have
a
that.
win. That's not a win.
If those three individuals were to have a show to essentially save America, let's just call the show Save America.
Yeah.
You would want to have three guys having a great time, a fun time where you feel like you're watching from your couches, from your bar, wherever it is, being like, I also feel like I'm invested in this conversation, while also having some sort of education taking place of what's going to happen that Saturday.
I want to tell you what I miss.
Tell me what you missed, dude.
I miss
I don't know,
Fridays.
hold on. Hey, quick. Woo. 10-second timeout. We just got Will Compton shirtless in a room.
That's what we don't want.
That's frat boy culture. We can't have that. But that's a good example of show people what we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
We don't want that.
away from that. There's already enough of that out in the ecosphere.
Too much frat boy
Don't
culture.
need that.
Right.
Got to meet a standard. That's not the standard.
Right.
Although that young man, fully clothed, may help the overall product meet the standard.
I agree with everything you just said. I'll tell you what, this is, and let's just stay on this photo for one more second. The difference between Will's front side and his back side are two totally different Wills.
Oh, where are you going with that?
Well, we're not going to focus on the front side because we're not going to be nasty on this show.
No, we're not.
But the back side of Will, he's got some, like the back strap. You know when you dap somebody up and you kind of hit their mid back? Yeah. He's got that muscle. You're like, holy shit.
It's a classic recruiting visit move.
Yeah. Grab the shoulders, the back a little bit.
Back.
When Bo Pelini grabbed Will's back, he knew right then and there he had to offer Will Compton a scholarship. That's all I'll say. And that is educational and fun. And that's an example of what this show would allegedly be.
It is great that it says fresh produce right above his head.
Yeah, exactly.
A clean take, if you
will. That's a Kevin's Natural Foods clean take. That's a Kevin's Natural Foods clean take right there. But you were saying.
Fridays. Everybody knows about Saturdays. Mm-hmm. But Fridays in the fall, you got to understand, go back to yourself as a child, because we don't want to lose the spirit of childlike wonder.
Never.
On any show that you're going to allegedly put on Fridays, revolving around the greatest sport in the world, which to people like me is college football, the Friday is it's the build. The Friday is the shaking up of the Saturday Coke bottle, and you can feel the pressure building. People coming into town. Families, kids checking out of school early. Let's hit the road. We got to get to the tailgate. We got to go see our friends that we see maybe 8 weekends out of the year. And you see that line of cars, looks like red ants just marching into town at night. I want a show, if this stuff's going to happen, allegedly, I want a show that captures that.
Right.
The vibe of Friday, the vibe of T-minus 24 hours, 21 hours, 17 hours, and it may be all quiet right now, but when that clock hits 0 tomorrow, it's going to be all out chaos.
God.
Something needs to encapsulate that feeling, not frat boy culture.
No,
we don't want that in our face.
We don't want
what
that.
we want in our face is a good, solid Friday hang with guys who get it for other people who get it.
My God. Something that just bottles everything up and lets you know, we're not the exact party taking place, because the party is these two schools that are going at it. Let's just say allegedly we're on location, but let's have a little pregame where we get to have a whole full conversation about what's to come of the night. Every time you remember being in college, we all remember being in college, and not to bring in frat boy culture into this, but a good position of frat boy culture is sometimes the pregame is the best thing because it's the expectation, it's the excitement that takes place about what could possibly happen. And if there's a place, a family friendly place that these line of red ants can take and come and park their cars right behind three gentlemen who get it, understand it, and love it, get to talk about the expectation and the excitement of the next 24 hours. My God. I mean, talk about saving America. Let's talk about saving the economy. This world right there, who needs the Strait of Hormuz when you have a show like that?
Crime rates plummeting.
Crime rate is plummeting. We should, but listen, this is all allegedly.
It is.
And the last thing we want to do for the fans of our show, the fans of Josh Pate's show, is to give them too much hope, right? We always want to have a little bit of that because that's what keeps us moving in life. All right. But let's jump off. Let's get off that subject. Let's get away from it. Sherm, did you have something?
Just one last thing. This is a daydreaming.
We're daydreaming.
This is like, wouldn't it be fun if you guys would like be talking to like people at the schools associated with the teams, stuff like that, having fun conversations. If that were to happen, if you were to be there on Fridays,
I'm sure if anyone was on a campus on a Friday before a big time game the next day, I'm sure you would meet the challenge of loading that college football adjacent show up with as much meat as possible.
Yeah.
You are the bone. It's up to you to put the meat on it.
Right. Day in and day out.
College football is the meat.
that would be fun.
Right.
That would be fun.
And we're not sitting here thinking we're going to save everything. We're just a vessel in order to save everything.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Thank you, Jared. Allegedly. Let's get into some callbacks, huh? Shall we?
Yeah.
Some callbacks? Do you feel good about that?
I feel great about
You
it.
obviously are a huge fan of the show. You watch every single week. We do callbacks. So we have fans who go and watch the previous show. The previous show last week was Clay Matthews, Delaney Walker, and Will Compton. I was out. Where was I? You had a baby. I had a baby.
Yeah.
I had a child.
Valid.
That has actually not officially been announced, but I have a baby now. Oh, we can clap. We can clap. You know, you kind of keep the, a little privacy there, She's doing help. She's healthy, all the things. But the first tier talk comes from, can you zoom in on that a little bit? These eyes. Yeah. Shaw Lacroix, 5282 says, need more Delaney Clay content. Country living with the boys. Working title. Everything's always a working title until it's not, until it's, fine print, put in pen. I love the idea. I think anytime Delaney Walker, you see it with Mitch and Delaney doing the motocross stuff, it's like, yeah, this guy you've been around him.
Yeah.
He's a fun guy. He checks a lot of boxes for you. He gets after it in a lot of ways. The guy's unbelievable. So the more content. What
does that mean?
Oh, you're not going to let me just skim over that? You're not going to let me just skim over that? What do you mean by that? What do I mean by that? He checks a lot of boxes, dude. He's smart.
Yep.
He's fun to be around. He's done well for himself. So it's not about the money for him. It's about the content.
Yeah.
What were you guys thinking I was saying?
That's it. Literally it.
Oh, yeah. No.
He's a great person too, just to be around.
Right.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, great guy to be around.
He was
That's
a
another
tight-
box.
He's a tight end, so he blocked and caught.
So you can do it all.
He can kind of do it all.
Yeah, blocked and caught is a great way to say that's what a tight end does.
Checked a lot of boxes.
Checks a lot of boxes.
Understands bussin' culture.
Understands bussin' culture.
Which is not frat boy culture.
Yes.
No.
That's not what that is.
No. See, what I'm getting kind of nervous about is you keep saying frat boy culture like someone's talking about frat boy culture. Is something happening in the universe that I don't know about?
Yeah, all I want to tell you is, and this is in the world of allegedly.
Okay.
This is in the world adjacent to reality.
So I can't be mad at anything because this is allegedly.
I'm going to let you decide whether you could be mad.
All right.
Just some allegations get thrown out. Proactive allegations.
No.
Allegations of things that haven't even happened yet.
Like what?
Descriptors of shows that haven't even aired yet.
Are you serious?
Of people who you haven't even met yet.
Are you people that don't know me as a person?
And I didn't even say you. You said you. You just assumed it's about you. I just
That's
said
main character syndrome. That's just kind of the world I live in. I can't blame myself for how I was brought up. You know?
I just think it's a shame when it happens.
Yeah, I would say that, allegedly, if we're going to live in this world, all I would say to that, if there are people throwing around things that may or may not be about me or Will Compton or this show, and allegedly other things that might take place in the fall, it just shows us how much more we need football. Right? And that's a thing that you brought up, Sherm. When the nastiness, you see June, July, people get a little more ornery. You see people cutting off people more on the highway.
It's not even their fault.
People running around. It's not their fault.
Not even their fault.
Not their fault. The bad things that are happening in the summertime, to an extent, right? Because you got to cover your bases. To an extent, is because we don't have football back in our lives.
And
anyway.
they'll blame it on the heat.
They
blame
will.
it on the heat. It's
will.
not.
They will. You know, penicillin, some people say, is the greatest medicine. September is the greatest medicine.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You allergic to September?
I'm not allergic to September, but I am allergic to penicillin. I'm allergic. This one comes from Deuce3306. Hey, yo, no lie. I'd watch a mow-off between Delaney and Clay. That should be fire. That should be fire, says Deuce3306. I love that, dude. I love that. There's nothing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a 10 of 10 no notes.
That's
That should be fire.
I could sit there and try to break that down, but if that should be fire, watching a couple guys cut some grass, make taller grass shorter, hey, do your thing. I'm in the camp of Will Compton. I'm not in this world to cut grass. I'm not here to do that.
Ooh.
And I know he
Josh?
caught some heat.
Ooh.
Are you you cut the grass?
Josh is not a grass cutting guy.
I'm the kind of guy who looks around at various state parks and public property areas in and around our wonderful community and say, if my tax dollars are otherwise going to cut that patch of land and the public's calling for a mow-off, Why not kill two birds with one stone?
Wow.
I see a business opportunity. I see a mayoral platform pillar when I see that. That's what I see.
I'll tell you what, dude, it's so unbelievable to get a guy on this show who's never taken a headshot in his life, because the way your brain operates, it's beautiful, dude. You just start saying things, I'm like, holy shit.
That is a good idea.
It's a good idea. Mayoral platform.
He perfectly answered.
Doesn't answer
Yeah,
the
Perfectly
question.
answered it. There's zero prompt to that at all.
Do you like to
It's like, you know what, dude? Our tax dollars should be used for guys to have mow-offs. That should be what's going on here. Or save the tax dollars, whatever we was really trying to get in here. All right, C. Wilder, 1576, says, no context, Adam Ray, Francis Ellis, and Josh Pate.
Now you need to explain that one to me, because this, I looked at it and I said, that's a nice thing to say.
Right.
But then when we looked at it earlier, you said, you have no idea
Well, hold
how
on.
lofty this compliment is.
I didn't know what this meant either.
We asked for give us your best episodes.
Okay, so this is for the best episodes that this individual's witnessed on Bussin' With The Boys. Keep in mind, this is episode 391.
Close to 400.
Close to, that's very good. You're great at math as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when this guy goes, these are the three people that come to mind. Adam Ray, I think we got on there and it was a giggly bits time the entire time. It was 90 minutes to 2 hours of just him being funny. I think we're all the three of us collectively, chemistry-wise, was in a flow state. It was beautiful. Francis Ellis, I believe, Jared, you're a number one fan of Francis Ellis, correct?
Yeah, that was a good one.
And that's not even a shot. That's just like,
I thought I was biased because I love him.
right.
but
You want to talk about a guy.
Our fans did love that episode.
He's got an unbelievable vocabulary, the way he tells stories. He's obviously in the comedy. Right now, he's part of the Barstool universe. The stories he was telling about Dave when he got fired and brought back. Like, Francis Ellis is a guy that you can listen.
Oh, no.
It's okay. You'll understand, but keep going.
Francis Ellis is a guy that you want to sit down and listen to for hours and hours. And then Joshua Pate. I mean, what time? How many times have you been on the show?
Is this 3 on Bussin'? Is this 3?
3 or 4, because you did the Ice Mageddon or whatever we called it that one episode.
So he did
Yeah.
Ice Mageddon. He's also done a couple of college
I think
football
you've been on
recaps as
4
well.
times now. Is
I
this
forgot
4?
about Ice Mageddon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I fled to Columbus. I wasn't even here.
You did run away. What was that
Just
about?
fled.
Josh goes, yeah, Mr. Weather Guy himself. We're batting down the hatches. We're looking around for who's going to be side by side in the trenches with us. And you're going, I'm headed
But
south.
didn't I tell you ahead of time?
You told me about a
I'm
week
gone.
and a half.
Yeah, I'm gone.
Because you're on those damn monitors.
Yeah.
That know exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I had
there
no
was
interest.
There was a fun time of us talking back and forth about where the line is for the ice and the snow. And you were hoping that the line would dip south a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So Nashville will be more snow covered, a little more snow day-esque, not Snowmageddon that took place and had over 500,000 people without power. Me personally, I didn't have power for 10 days, 10 whole days.
Crazy.
Generator, it was worth every penny. Like, that generator was extremely expensive. And dude, I've told this story. One of my neighbors, I don't know if you've heard this. One of my neighbors, he has a like a pacemaker type of thing.
Yeah, you told me.
Okay, and it goes
You
up and
saved him.
we saved his life.
Yep.
Okay, so as long as you know I'm a hero.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. But we shouldn't talk about how many times you've been on here. We should talk about the quality of times you've been on here. And if I'm going to say what is one of the best stories you've ever heard on Bussin' With The Boys, it's Josh Pate talking about your grandfather being cremated.
Oh, Peepaw, yeah.
Peepaw being cremated, wasn't able to make it, and then found out years and years later that was,
Forgot I told you that.
yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's kind of nice
did
when
go
it's
viral.
It-
People were like commenting about it, right?
It's
like,
nuts.
I got a
People
few,
heard about it.
I got
This
a
is in
few
Chattanooga,
people-
correct? Is where
it's
it took
in-
place?
I think it's Tri-State Crematorium. It's either in extreme northern Georgia or extreme southern Tennessee. And so, like, very 30-second condensed version of this for those who didn't tune in. Shame on you.
Shame on
apparently.
you.
Peepaw passes away. Good man. We lost him a long time ago. He wanted to get cremated. He wanted his ashes spread in this stream that he used to fish in up in the mountains in the Smokies. So we get him cremated. We go spread his ashes. Not another word is said about it. We go years later. I come home from school one day. My mom braces me for some news that's come out, and all over every cable news network, everything, there's this huge scandal that's broken at a place called this Tri-State Crematorium, I think is what it was called, where they were just throwing bodies all over their property in sheds in a lake because their incinerator had busted up, but they were still taking bodies in. And there's this, I have learned since, a huge multi-episode podcast dedicated to this.
Since you told this story.
I forget the title of it, but I listened to it.
Okay.
And they did a really, really good job. So there you go. 2,000 bodies had been sent to Tri-State. And at some point, that dude, Ray Brent Marsh, took over the business. And his business did not consist of burning the bodies and giving back the ashes. He was giving back ashes. We got ashes, but they were not Peepaw's ashes. So we spread the ashes. Years later, they find Peepaw's body still intact, badly decomposed, on their property in a shed. So we had to get him recremated years later, and we went back and respread his ashes.
Now, you've told this story before, but how many years later was this?
Several years later.
God, how long does it take for a body to decompose?
They could only.
I feel like that should have been enough time to hit us with a skeleton, right?
Well, here was the thing. He still had his toe tag on him.
That's how they identified him.
That was literally, they didn't need to do the dental records thing, although I guess you could do dental records, but the body still had the toe tags. This was not very, very strategically like a well-calibrated operation. They would just like toss the bodies like garbage wherever they could toss them.
Start a fire out back.
Yeah.
Take the ashes from that and put it in a jar.
Here we have the process of body decomposition. Speaking of college football being right around the corner, Peepaw was past the 250-day mark there. Peepaw's down there at the bottom.
Down there at the bottom.
If you just CGI'd a toe tag on that skeleton, that was Peepaw.
That's kind of scary.
Josh Pate, do you believe in ghosts?
I don't, but I believe that other people do believe in them.
Okay, but you're on the
I'm
definitively
out on
do
ghosts.
not believe in ghosts.
I'm out on ghosts because there's a road called Smith Road where I grew up, and there was this Korean family. You can tell this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Dad used to drive us to school every morning,
Hell yeah, you did.
and we would drive past a house. There's a little Korean family.
Just full of Koreans.
They were always waiting for the bus.
Yeah.
We would wave to them every morning. It's one of those instances where we never knew their name, but we kind of felt like we had a bond with them.
Okay.
The Koreans move away. The house just sits there. It never got moved into. There was a for sale sign, I kid you not, at this house for like 15 years. It never got moved into. The forest just swallowed the house. Now, most people didn't know the house was back there because even though it's only like 100, 150, 200 feet from the road, you can't see it because in Harris County, Georgia, the forest grows pretty thick. It's like a rainforest.
Yeah.
So I grow up. I become like a teenager. I have a driver's license at that point. And I think, wait a second, that house has got to still be back there. So we started planning going back there.
Quick pause. Who's we?
Me and some friends.
You and your degenerate
They
friends.
are inconsequential.
Yeah.
They are not main characters in this story.
Got you.
The Koreans aren't either.
You're the only character.
No,
in
the
story.
house is the main character.
Okay, my fault.
So we would go back in the woods. We find the house. We go in the house. It's very clear no one's been in there. Also, I don't think that house was up to code. It was built, the floors were a little tilted, very strange. We go in there and there were chalk drawings of like voodoo doll looking things on all the walls. So I thought to myself, if there was ever going to be a ghost, it would be in here. And nothing ever happened.
Nothing ever happened.
And what we would do.
Well, hold on. How long would you spend in the voodoo drawn vacant house?
Oh, I was ignorant. We spent hours in there.
Okay.
And then the natural thing you think is we could really do some damage to people psychologically in this place.
Yeah.
So we started planting one of us in the house ahead of time. And then we would take newbies, abandoned Korean house rookies out into the house, and they would get terrified.
I thought you were about to say you take Koreans and bring them in there.
Never
We
got
would
that far.
specifically find Koreans and bring them into this house.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, it's not even important to let you know they were of Korean descent. It's just
I made the story good.
No, dude, that's a fun detail.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you, like, draws you in a little bit more. What were these Koreans up to over here?
You know what's sad?
Not in like a way, you know what I'm saying? Not like a what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's fun to kind of just know more details of the story.
And you know what's sad? They tore that thing down within the last year.
No.
They just tore it down.
Why didn't you buy it? I'm sure it wasn't very expensive.
Wasn't up to code.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a piece of history right there, Josh Pate's life. That's where Josh Pate definitively decided that ghosts do not exist. And if there's ever a place to make a purchase, it's when you figure out whether ghosts do or do not exist to you.
I really regret that now that you mention it that way. I really
I'm not
regret
here to
that.
bring regret into your life.
I've lived without it my whole life until now.
We're going to have this episode to bring you Neutral. Neutral tastes great. Tastes so much better than anything I've ever tried out there. Neutral is made with real vodka and real juice. That's what makes it taste delicious. They come in a variety of flavors. My personal favorites are pineapple and lime. Perfect for social occasions. It's a crowd pleaser, especially during the summer. Think about beach with friends, an outdoor bar, on a lake, at a music festival. It's the perfect time of year to grab a 12-pack of Neutral for the beach or grab a bucket deal in your favorite bar to celebrate summer. Neutral. Keep it tasty. Also, we're brought to you by Form Energy. Form Energy delivers best-in-class taste with natural flavor and zero sugar. Form Form Energy has natural caffeine derived from green tea. They come in a variety of flavors, talking about Screamin' Freedom, Grape Smash, Blue Blitz, Orange Fury. It's perfect for those who put in the work. You got a 10-day-old baby at home. You wake up early in the morning. You handle her for a little bit. Give her to mom to have some milk. Go get a workout in. Come to the shop. Do a 2-hour podcast with Josh Pate. Go get on a plane at 7 p.m. to fly to LA. That's called doing the work. Form Energy. We do the work. Really taking a turn for the worse.
When I tell you the house was not up to code, I mean, it looked like a group of us got together with no education in construction,
Hell yeah.
and we just built a house best way we knew how. 2 stories.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you ever go upstairs?
Yeah. That's where the
That's where
the
ignorant
floors were
teenager
slanted.
comes in. Because if we walked into that same house, the same style of house, and it was 2 stories, we'd probably get 3 steps up and go, "Hey, we probably shouldn't do
You know,
this."
they creaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'd kind of give a little more, hear a small little crack, and that would be enough for us to go, "Hey, risk is not worth the reward here."
Yeah.
To find out what may or may not be up there. Let's not do it. But something about being an ignorant teenager, man. But that's all it took for you to figure out that ghosts don't exist.
That was it. That's what my mind goes to. When people ask me, like, my spectrum of believability of ghosts goes right back to, dude, if they're not in that old Korean abandoned house, then they're not here.
Yeah. Yeah.
He would be great to bring along any type of future ghost hunt that you do or any type of haunted house, because Josh can face down anything. He can tell you if it's real or not. That's a good kind of devil's advocate to bring along.
He's a good character in a story to be like the denier to the end. Like any like paranormal movie, The Conjuring you see, it's always the dad that's like, no, the chairs are supposed to move without anybody in them. It's all good. Everything's fine. Oh, the lights go out all the time. This house is not up to code. And then finally your daughter's head's spinning around in circles and you're like, okay, this is fucked up. That's when you get to the point where you're like, oh, no, this is bad.
It just never
Everybody
got
else is
there.
on the same page the whole time. Like, we should leave. And Dad's like, we're staying. All right, these are our roots. Yeah. That's our roots guy right there.
You know, about this time in my life was when Blair Witch Project had come out. Ooh. So about the time
One of the greats.
you're really leaning into that whole genre at that point. And so Blair Witch is in theaters. And back then, like, I don't know if someone's 20 years old watching this, you can't possibly understand the impact Blair Witch had on the culture.
Yeah.
Because that was like, it was at the dawn of the internet culture. It was way pre-social media culture. It was still in a period of time where you could go watch a movie of found footage and be convinced what you were watching was real.
Yes.
Okay, so you got that in the movie theaters. You got an abandoned Korean house that the forest has swallowed up. It took some stones to go in there.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm not questioning your courage or your bravery when it talks to this not up to code Korean house.
Like this freeze frame, if you know, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I have chills running through my body at this moment. And it also gets me kind of excited because I know Spooktober is just a couple of months away, boys. I mean, we're 65 days away right now from Spooktober as we're filming this.
Wait, what constitutes a make or break Spooktober?
Last year, there's rumblings going around last year that
Mitch hasn't said a word this whole podcast. Turn to negative town right away. Here we go. Hey, put the blinker on. We're taking a U-turn right here. Go ahead, Mitch.
I mean, it's not.
I just need to be educated.
I just wanted to give some context.
So last Spooktober was a little bit of a bit of a letdown from our fearless
Say your
leader.
truth, dude. Don't say a little bit of a letdown.
No, I just, like the 2 Spooktobers ago when we did the TPing and all that stuff, that was fun. Last year, none of that happened. This year is just, there's a lot that needs to happen from our fearless leader from Spooktober that to bring it all the way back.
Can I ask you a question, Mitch?
Yeah.
And I just want, if you could, I don't want to give you orders, but I would ask that you maintain eye contact with me and don't look anywhere else. Do you feel like 2025 Spooktober went a little bit corporate?
Corporate?
Like, did it sell out a little bit?
No, I don't think we sold out at all because it's not like we necessarily did anything.
You say we, but you didn't really have a choice. You're just following leadership. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
It's not on you. So
No.
I'm asking, do you feel like you were led in a more corporate direction?
I don't think we were led in any like there
Oh,
was
there was no
direction.
leadership, period.
There was just no really direction.
You were
happening
just
at all.
like, I'm not calling you trash. I'm saying, but metaphorically, you were trash blowing around the parking lot, and you were whichever direction the wind takes you,
just
that's where you're going.
Looking for a direction to keep our Spooktober pride and going along.
Wow. Okay, we bring it back here to the set. Your thoughts?
Sounds like somebody in the back needs a backbone. All right. If you're just going to be trash in the wind.
By backbone, do you mean leadership?
No. I'm saying if you see something, you smell something, say something, right? If it's Spooktober 6,
Can I tell you
the
something?
6th day of Spooktober. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Let me land this plane for a second, okay? Because I to be fair with you,
I don't think the
I don't
gear's
know where
even
I'm
down.
going right now.
I don't think the gear's even
I don't know where
down.
I'm going right now. If it's the 6th of Spooktober and you feel like some tomfoolery's afoot when it comes to your special holiday that your fearless leader said, see something, say something. Absolutely. Now, to Mitch's point, I'll keep eye contact with you and not look at him one bit, even though he glanced at me a couple of times. I failed this company. I failed this company. Last year, I can make all the excuses in the world when it comes to we were doing ESPN on Thursdays, corporate, and we had a bunch of things going on from the fall tour and all that. I did not take it upon myself to make Spooktober a special month like it always has been and should for always should be.
Yeah.
So this year, it's all on me. No one needs to say something. No one needs to do anything. I've got it. I'm going to figure it out. You'll be a part of it. Don't you worry. Spooktober is going to be a very special year this year.
Okay.
It's going to be a very special year this year. And if it's not, I'll bend the knee, take my leadership cap off, and I'll hand it to somebody else. Because that's what good leaders do. They understand when they're not doing enough for the company.
Beautiful.
And when it comes to Spooktober.
No one has said that we don't believe in you.
No, I know that. This is true. This is a contract year for me.
This is the
This is
I'm
this
looking
is
forward
I
to
just
this
signed.
Spooktober more than any Spooktober I've ever
Yeah,
looked forward to.
this is it's my 6th year in the league. It hasn't gone my way the last couple of years. I get cut, and I just signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers on a prove it deal. I'm in a prove it deal right now. Is he going to be what he was before, or is this the last we see of Taylor Lewan in Spooktober? And that's perfectly fine. Put that on my shoulders because I deserve it. Right? A lot of things coming up allegedly this fall. Is that going to sway me in any way? Absolutely not. I will tank every show that I do to make sure that Spooktober is good this year. I will not prep for anything, dude, to make sure that Spooktober is good this year. Look at me. You got me?
I'll be your second-hand man.
I love that. Second-hand man. Who's my right-hand man? Is that you also?
That's what I meant.
Okay, that's you also. I didn't know if Josh could have to take the first or the first. I'll be your second to your one.
You technically could have both. You could have the right hand man and a second hand man.
Left hand man.
Right-hand man. You see that right there? So anyway, I believe in ghosts.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I do. I think they're real. Yes.
I have
Clint.
a fun little breaking news to get the vibes up here with Dan Orlovsky.
Oh shit! That's not real. Is that AI?
No, this is on Get Up this morning.
No, it's not.
Dan Orlovsky.
That's fake.
It's not fake.
Wait. That's the earring.
The
That's
earring is in.
He wore it so big people think it's fake.
It's a genius move by Dan.
Is it
Wow.
AI? I
Genius
didn't
move
look
by
hard
Dan.
enough into it. I think it's just I think it's a real earring. But breaking news.
Before I was literally about to call Dan right now.
He's
and be like,
probably live on ESPN right now.
It doesn't matter.
doesn't matter at all.
You're right.
Actually, now that I know he might be live on ESPN, I'm gonna call him.
If he's not corporate, he'll answer.
Yep.
FaceTime.
This is a huge moment for Dan Orlovsky.
This is a big deal. But hey, bookmark that ghost thing.
Mhm.
Make sure we get back to that. Hey, is the photo I'm looking at real right now?
I think so. I don't know what you're looking at.
It's a photo of you on Get Up with a giant block M earring.
That's an accurate photo, yes, sir.
That's an accurate photo. By the way, we're live on Bussin With The Boys. Not actually live because this is taped. But how many more days are you on ESPN? Are you on consistently now?
No, I will not be on consistently.
So you have 30 more days of doing it. So week 1 of the NFL season, you're going to have it on?
No, I was hoping to maybe have a conversation about an addendum to the contract.
Oh!
Just seeing if we could work something out, because the chances of me wearing that every day, or at least every day that I'm on, probably not high.
But you did a bet. Remember, you did a bet. You were so confident about UConn.
I'm a man of my word.
Sounds like you're
I wasn't
not.
all that confident. I am a man of my word. I'm just, sometimes players negotiate before the contract's over. Maybe we make some changes. You know?
Okay. Here's what you could do to change it up: is you don't have to wear a Flavor Flav size earring on ESPN. You could wear a smaller one. But I see what you did there with the block M. It's like so gaudy and out there that it's clearly a
I
joke.
was hoping that and the size of it would build me a little bit of equity.
Okay. I'll put that in the suggestion box. I'm going to get back to the show. I'll put it in the suggestion. I'll talk to my people and I'll reach out to your people.
I feel like you're the best person I know. Thank you.
All right. That, you know what? Words go a long way with me. So that actually helped your case quite a bit.
Thank you, brother.
All right. See ya. Love you. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Oh, he said it back.
He said it back.
He said it back. That's such a huge thing. Gotta say I love you back. Huh?
You don't.
What do you, Jared?
Oh, whoa.
Jared, do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Does anybody here besides Josh Payton not believe in ghosts? Ooh.
Are you serious?
Lonely. And that's called a callback, dude. My brain works
Do
fine.
you believe, but you haven't experienced?
No, I'm saying I haven't had an experience, so I don't like. I'm still on the fence.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Mitch
but
is
I-
pretty much with me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I probably lean more towards you. But
You know what it was? You made him lock eyes with you.
It works.
You made him lock eyes with you. You put him in a trance.
Words have an impact on you.
They do.
Eye contact,
That's how you get it.
which you didn't even have Orlovsky on FaceTime.
I did.
By
He
the way,
was
is
driving.
that going to work on you?
No.
Are you serious?
I am not betting the need of that. There is nothing better in my brain than the first week of the NFL football season. I go or I am on Zoom on Get Up and Dan has to wear an earring and look me in the eyes.
Could I pose you one better?
Go ahead.
It's week 2 of the college football season.
Go ahead.
Oklahoma is headed to Ann Arbor
All
that
right.
Saturday.
Okay.
And the prior Thursday, let's call it, Dan Orlovsky's wearing that on not national, worldwide television.
Worldwide. And he has no choice but to choose Michigan to win that game if he's wearing a Michigan earring.
That's the dream.
That is the dream. Now, knowing Dan, he'll definitely go Oklahoma now, even with the earring. But that's okay. We've got him. We physically own Dan's body until further notice. Right? Like I own Dan Orlovsky, and that's okay to say. Yeah. Right? It's okay to say?
Yeah,
All right,
that's
good.
100%
All right.
okay to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do own it.
Okay. Fact check. Thank you. We looked at Grok. He told me that I own Dan Orlovsky at this moment. So that's Kevin's Natural Foods Clean Take. You brought up you brought up Oklahoma and Michigan.
Uh-huh.
We've had conversations. Literally every time I see you, I find a way to weave Michigan into the conversation,
You do.
specifically the football team.
Oh, you do.
And I could see your eyes. They kind of gloss over the minute comes in out of my mouth. And you give me what I need to hear. I want to know your thought process if you even dove into Michigan this year of where you think they're going. Let's just start with the Big Ten in general, right? Because we're college football guys.
Yep.
We're college football guys. You more than anybody else in the world. And I'd love to know your true opinion of my favorite school in the world.
I think it all comes down to what your opinion is of your quarterback. It doesn't matter on opinion. It matters what your quarterback ends up becoming.
Right.
There are 2 schools of thought out there. Pretty divergent, by the way.
Yeah.
No one's on the fence with Bryce Underwood. It's either some of the rumors in spring were true and you're going to be in the market for a quarterback after this year because he's never going to fulfill his potential, or path B or path A, whichever you want to call it, but it is divergent to the previous path. He just ends up being the man. And if he's the man, you got one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten, which means you got one of the best quarterbacks in college football. And then you tie a Kyle Whittingham style of play to that kind of talent at the quarterback position, and it just becomes Utah on steroids, figuratively, and you can compete. It's not just Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State at tier 1. It's make more room, add another chair at the table. Also, it would look like we keep getting better throughout the year. You know, we're scaling up throughout the year. What we were in week 2 and week 3 is not what we are in week 9 and week 10. You can tell me what you think. You're really dialed in there. I just don't want to lean into that until I see it.
Yeah.
So they're one of my believe it or see it to believe it kind of teams this year.
So I have to tell you what I think. You said that. I'm going to do that. Here's where I live. I'm going to try to live in an unbiased path and then my clearly biased path. I wish there was a hat to differentiate which Taylor I'm going to go with. First, I'll go with the unbiased path. This season, 100% relies on how much better Bryce Underwood has gotten. The roster is a top 25, top 15 roster in college football. The only other question mark on the roster right now seems to me the linebacker room. Cole Sullivan, he went to Oklahoma. He was one of our best linebackers. Lost a couple guys to the draft. Another individual just stopped playing football altogether. He was the kid that was at Nebraska, transferred to Michigan. So when it comes to the wide receiver room, it's one of the best wide receiver rooms on paper that Michigan's had in a very long time.
Going to be underrated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Babaloa, the left tackle. He was this 5-star recruit, one of the highest rated offensive linemen to ever come to the University of Michigan. He was making absolute waves last camp before he had a knee injury. And last season, you get him back, plus a whole group of guys that played together all of last year in various spots, but still play together. Chemistry gets better. reps with an offensive line makes you a better team. You have Jordan Marshall, Savion Hyder, who is the highest rated running back in most recent years to commit. He's turning heads. I feel really good about what Bryce Underwood has around him. And it all depends on the game that brought up this entire topic, which is Oklahoma. Brent Venables, his defense, how complex they are. If he can have success against them and Jason Beck can scheme up an actual game plan other than we'll just run it down the middle 50 times and hopefully someone breaks one, then I think we're in a really good spot. But week 2, we will know what the University of Michigan is, which is great. There's two things is it's great because you find out exactly what your football team is right away. The bad part is if it's not what you want, it's like, well, it's going to be a tough year that's going to take place.
But do you find out in week 2?
I believe so, yes.
You think you know everything you need to know in a week 2 out of conference game in year 1 under a head coach? You think you know everything?
No, not everything. Well, you would know 80%. You will know right then and there if your team is a playoff caliber team. But at that point, we've got a 12-team field. So at that point, we'll have 30 playoff caliber teams. Right.
And then we start weeding it out. Pull up Michigan's schedule right quick.
It's a monster.
Okay, but what I'm saying is let's say they lose 17-13 in week 2.
Okay.
Let's just say that happens. Not predicting it, but let's say that happens. You're telling me that there's no room for a team, in this case Michigan, to round into form around early October? You're telling me that can't happen? You're telling me by the time we got Iowa that comes in, we win that one, dogfight, we win that one. We go to Minnesota, we win that one. You're telling me by the time Penn State comes in, you couldn't see a world where you're 4-1, you're undefeated in conference play, and here we go. We've hit reset on the season, and we got a season coming up. We got a second season coming up of Penn State, Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State, and if we go 3-1 in that stretch, and we get 2 of them at home. Is that right? Yeah, 2 of them at home. If we go 3-1 in that stretch, we're in the playoff. If we go 2-2, depending on how the dominoes fall, we're on the fringes of playoff contention, especially if one of those losses to Oklahoma ends up being a loss to a playoff team themselves. All I'm saying is I don't think we know everything we need to know in week 2.
We don't know everything we need to know in week 2, but let's go 17-13. Low scoring game, very defensive fare that you just not predicted, but allegedly predicted. To me, it's all about how Bryce Underwood performs, how he handles the adversity when he gets hit. What does his body language look like? Because if you're a year 2 quarterback who didn't have a quarterback coach the year before, has all the talent in the world. Now, Coy Detmer Jr., who's the quarterback coach, comes from Utah. Beautiful mustache on the individual, by the way. If this kid's keeping his head up, if he's being a leader to his guys, if you see him making big throws, and like last year, I think Michigan were top 3 in drops in college football.
Yep.
If those guys are making those drops, now I'm looking to a place where it's like, okay, get to Penn State. I have an interesting feel about Penn State that we can get into in a little bit, but you get to that game, yeah, it's a whole new season. But if you drop to Oklahoma, who on paper is not as good as they were last year, and you're playing Indiana, the reigning national champ, Oregon, who has their best roster since Dan Lanning's been there, and Ohio State, which it pains me to say, always reloads. You're not going to, I think what we saw last year is you're not going to be a 9-3 team and make the playoffs.
I'm not just granting that Oklahoma on paper is worse than they are last year. Bookmark that.
You're not granting that.
I'm not granting that as a formality.
Okay.
Like I think Oklahoma could be as good, if not slightly better than they were last year. Doesn't mean they're going to be a better record team than they were last year.
Fair enough.
Because they won some close games last year.
We'll find out.
Here's what I'm trying to say. That game, that's one of them. That's the same day as Texas, Ohio State. There's a few games early in the year, like Mississippi State goes to Minnesota randomly. There are a bunch of these SEC Big Ten games early in the year that I can't wait for because I don't care about bowl season. I care about regular season matchups. We rarely ever get them. But this is the kind of year where we're going to get several SEC Big Ten, like comparably seeded matchups where I get an idea early on, how does this conference stack up against the other conference? And there's a game in Nashville that's not Big Ten SEC. It's ACC SEC, week 1. It's Ole Miss Louisville. That game's going to go a long way, even though it's week 1, of shaping the conversation come playoff selection time when you're asking whose conference deserves benefit of doubt, whose conference deserves one more seat at the table. All these games are happening in the first couple of weeks of the year. And they're going to matter so much 3 months later when we're trying to decide whose strength of schedule really impresses me more, or strength of record. Whose strength of record really impresses me more? in case you can't tell, it's going to be a great year.
It's going to be a phenomenal year. We brought up these games so early. Do they really mean as much as they do when we get into November and selection Saturday or Sunday, whatever day it is? We can look at last year and just look at Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah.
They lose their first 2 games, run the table after that, and at the end of the year was playing their best football. CJ Carr, I'm pretty. Is he not? If he's not a Heisman frontrunner, he's top 5, correct?
He's there.
He's right up there on the FanDuel Sportsbook app.
I think he's the favorite as we speak.
But you sit there and you look at that, and it's like, if that's how the committee is operating and looking at things, and you take an independent who lost to Texas A&M on a play that probably should have ended the game, but a weird holding call on the last play, and then you lose a tight one to, what was the other game?
Miami,
right, exactly. So that's kind of like, yeah, these games truly do matter. Texas is another team. They go 9-3. They beat A&M the last game of the year when A&M was 1, 2, 3. What were they?
They were undefeated. They were 11-0.
They were undefeated.
Yeah.
And Texas beat them, and they did not make it into the college football playoff. So when I look at a game that big, the excitement of like, oh, we're going to know where we stand. We're going to know what kind of team we have. It's like put the ball down and figure it out. That's kind of where I sit with that.
I'm not mad at it. To me, what I'm saying is if I have 2 buckets, there's the negative bucket and the positive bucket.
Yeah.
I think it's a whole lot more likely that the positive bucket overflows from Michigan in week 2 than it is the negative bucket. Because if you lose that game, I could still sell myself that you'll get right. But if you're already playing at a high enough level to win that kind of game in week 2, well, then we'll be on the way home, and you'll be selling me on the potential of 11-1, the potential of 12-0.
Oh, there's no 11-1, and we win that game the way we need to win that game. And we're going to go to that game.
I won't even be responding. I'll just let you go at that point. So the bucket will overflow. Now, as for where we'll be, I don't even know that we'll be together. Like I
hope we are.
It'd be nice to be there, though.
Yeah, I think it's a great early season game to go to. Yes, Sherman.
A question for Josh Pate. There's a lot of big names on that schedule that I feel like we've talked about. Is there anybody that looks super sneaky to you?
Oh, easily second to last game of the season. If you're sandwiched between a trip to Eugene and Columbus, and you just got a playoff coach as your new head coach, and he brought a bunch of his team with him, and he looks the way he looks matter. Looks absolutely matter.
Yeah.
I think UCLA, especially late in the year when they probably gotten their act together, if they needed to get their act together, I wouldn't be sleeping on that game.
Okay.
The answer used to be Michigan State, but people have slept on Michigan State for a little while. New day in East Lansing. There's a new day there.
Yeah.
I think they made a good hire.
I think they made a great hire. He was great at Northwest. Is it Ryan Fitzpatrick, correct? Pat Fitzgerald. Dude, I always mess that name up.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, great NFL quarterback.
And also
Ryan Fitzpatrick,
Pat's
Larry
neighbor growing up,
Fitzgerald,
yeah.
Pat Fitzgerald. Pat Fitzgerald. Dude, and I'm going to mess it up 15 more times this year because I've done it how many times, Clump? Too many, but
it makes it more fun. It's natural.
This culture guy right here.
There's no doubt that's a Big Ten head coach.
That's a Big Ten head coach. That's a guy that I hate this. He's going to make Michigan State a much better football team.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get culture wins in and out. So I don't think they're going to be top of the tops, but I think they're going to have a vast improvement from how competitive they are week in and week out, even against big teams.
I agree. They are. It sounds like you believe they're going to do what Nebraska's supposed to be doing.
Oh,
yes,
no.
absolutely. I agree with that. Do you want to talk about Nebraska, even though Will Compton's not here?
I think we owe it to the audience.
We owe it to the audience. There's a lot of GBRs ripping around right now, and I can feel tense knuckles as people are listening to this podcast somewhere in Nebraska, just thinking, please God, Josh Pate, be nice to our school.
I believe that somewhere in Nashville, that prayer is going up.
Yeah.
Should y'all call Will just to check on him before y'all talk about Nebraska?
I don't want his sickness to even come over the phone.
Orlovsky picked up.
Oh, yeah.
But you're talking about a whole different ball game.
Right.
As to whether Will Compton picks up.
When Will is not within these walls, we know how difficult it is to get a hold of him. Now that he's sick, it's like, let's not even put the expectation out there.
Yeah.
Right?
We want to wish him all the best.
All the best.
Right. Pull Nebraska schedule. I think this is good that we do this unbiasedly. And then after Nebraska, we obviously know that Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana, these are all schools that are going to be in the Big Ten and being part of the conversation. We obviously don't have 5 hours to break everything down, so we should go to a different conference. But you look at this schedule right here.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio. That's a W.
Why don't you start 5-0? Just go the first 5. Why would you not be 5-0?
Well,
Okay.
Pat Fitzgerald is a reason why I would start with that.
Your 4th-year coach versus first year. I don't care where you play the game. You should win the game.
Okay. You should win the game.
Should.
You should win the
You
game.
should be 5-0 when Indiana comes to town. And by the way, not that we need to pull Indiana's schedule up. Indiana will have played no one at this point. So you could have a little bit of a mysterious Indiana team just in time for Spooktober coming into Lincoln.
That's a great point.
Is it undefeated versus undefeated there on October 10th?
I don't hate it. I kind of love it.
What a rowdy atmosphere that'll be. That'll be a good game.
Yeah, that'll be a great game. Say what?
They got a tough stretch of 3 games.
Yeah, those 3 games are a monster for them. Indiana is a weird school for me this year because of Hoover, the quarterback. Like he ran a very similar offense, but he was just riddled with interceptions all year at TCU. So it's like I am now in the position of Kurt Cignetti's going to get anybody right. He's officially he's for him to do something so historic, taking the worst college football team of all time and turning them into national champions 2 years into his coaching career there. I think it's really hard for me to bet against them.
I was up there a couple of months ago. And
They let you in?
Asked him about Hoover. Yeah, they sure did.
Wow.
They sure did. Ordered food for me and everything.
They got you at food?
Yeah.
What'd you get? What'd you eat?
What did he order?
What's the
There's a
food
there's
like
a
in
wing
Indiana?
there's a wing place in Bloomington, and he ordered from there. It was good. It
Nice.
was really good.
Okay, so you guys are friends.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And he gave me some info, and I asked him about Hoover, and all he did was he looked me in the eye and said, "We got what we needed to get there. What more do I need?
Is that not the perfect Cignetti response
That's
to
it.
what do you think about your new quarterback?
We got what we needed to get
We got
there."
what we need. And dude, who's the wide receiver? Nick Marsh from Michigan State,
Good player.
buddy. That kid's that's an NFL wide receiver.
There's 2 of them. Nick Marsh going from Michigan State to Indiana. Eric Singleton going from Auburn to Florida. Those are 2 really high-level receivers who were just buried and lost because they were in terrible positions last year that could burst on the scene this year. Either one of those could hang 1,000-yard seasons, and it would not shock me.
God bless. I really hope. I wanted Nick Marsh to go to Michigan so bad.
You should.
And the rumor was, as much as he was upset with Michigan State, he thought it wouldn't be right to go to a rival, which tells me he's a good character kid.
That's big heart. That's heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good character. There was a bag being ready to be thrown at him from Michigan. He's like, I shouldn't do that. That's morally the wrong thing to do, to go to Michigan State to Michigan. So damn.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's good.
You like that?
Even if it's not true, don't tell me it's not true.
No.
I want that to be true.
I'm going to lie to you a lot this year.
Yeah.
That's not one of them.
I want that to be true.
Yeah.
Can we go back? Can we go back to Nebraska for a second?
Go back to Nebraska.
Okay, if I'm a Nebraska fan,
Okay.
last year we've got year 3 Matt Rule, right?
Yes.
That's the year it's going to happen. It's going to pop off this year. Some people talk themselves into 10-2 playoff.
Some people.
Yeah.
A whole
And-
state, really, and one guy. A whole state and one individual.
2 individuals.
That's right.
He sucked me in.
I know. And you know what?
Go ahead. No, I deserve it. Go ahead.
No, you don't deserve it. I'm just playing back our year at the locker room together. And I realized that because of Will did that to you, the 3rd week in November is why you did that to me. Well, you shook my hand, gave me a hug, and stabbed me in the back in the last second at Michigan, Ohio State.
Oh, yeah. I was carrying a lot of hate around in my heart.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a me problem. It was not your fault.
Nebraska hurt him.
Yeah.
Nebraska, and it's not Josh's fault.
No.
It's not even Will's fault.
Nope.
It's Hope's fault. You can't have too much of it.
It's a dangerous
You
thing.
can't have too much of it.
It's a dangerous
so
thing.
I just want you to know I'm over that. But go ahead. Year 3, Matt Rule. It's when it's supposed to happen, and obviously the wheels fell off. Dylan Raiola is no longer a Husker. He gets injured. Was it who's the quarterback? Latif. Thank you. I knew the
Latif,
love was
TJ
correct.
Latif.
Latif comes in. He balls out for a game. Wheels fall off. Overall, we end up back at a 7-5 season, 6-6 the year prior.
Believe they played UCLA, and someone, it's not important who, group texted another group of people who said TJ Latif legacy game today, 400 combined yards. I believe that was the prediction.
Gosh.
Yeah. So that's how November was going last year for Nebraska. But think about being a Nebraska fan. All right. So fast forward to the end of the year. You only went 7-5. Were they 7-5?
7-5.
You go 7-5 in the year where you think we could be a fringe playoff team. At the very least, this is the year we're going to arrive.
Mm-hmm.
You don't.
You do not.
Okay. Then you hear this
Who's that at the door?
Penn State jobs
No,
open.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Hey, guess who's on the list?
Who is?
Matt rule.
Holy shit, they must be shitting themselves
They are.
at the time.
They are. They were/are.
Yeah.
So what do we got to do? We're upset that we only won 7 games, but we can't let the outside world know that, and we can't let Matt know that because we got to fight to keep him. And so we got to uncover every couch cushion. We got to pinch every penny together, and we got to make sure, number one, this guy's getting paid top dollar. We got to extend his contract. We've got to invest heavily in the NIL infrastructure here. And you know what? They did. They did. Penn State looks elsewhere. Case closed.
Right.
Except that here's the problem.
Uh-oh.
You still only won 7 games last year.
Right.
Your quarterback, who you thought was coming to save you,
The second coming.
Will Stein happens, and so he's gone. And then you look to Las Vegas and you bring in Anthony Calandria, who, look, I'll even grant you may be a better fit for the offense than Kenny Minshew was going to be. But that's neither here nor there. All I'm asking is, if they go 7-5 again, is everyone really going to not speak what everyone's thinking, which is kind of hot seat, just because you renewed the guy? Because we live in fantasy world and real world.
Yep.
Fantasy world is, we're Nebraska. We should be better than this. If we've given you 4 years and you haven't delivered better than a 7-win season, you're on the hot seat, full stop. Then the real world is, we can't do that. We just fought to keep you 12 months ago, and we invested a ton of money in you. We can't even afford to talk like that. It's a tough spot to be in.
It's a tough spot to be in. If I am in the camp of, hey, we just fought and gave them a lot of money, as Nebraska fans, we have to remember where we were pre-Matt Rule. And it was no bowl games in over a decade.
Yeah.
No bowl games. Ever since Bo Pelini left, it's been a downward spiral for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So, yeah, it's not going exactly like you want it to. Usually Matt Rule has that 9, 10, 11 win season in year 3. Per Will Compton's point, this is a great spin zone for my boy Willie C. They changed the uniforms this year.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about it. Forget everything.
They changed the uniforms this year. Yeah. So we're officially back in year 1 of Matt Rule. And you brought up Calandria. We kind of went by it a little bit. You said it might be a better fit for the offense. I like this kid's moxie. His attitude, the way he walks around, he seems like a culture locker room guy. And then everything you were kind of feeling, I don't know if it was just because it was towards the end, but the Dylan Raiola saga felt like not a locker room guy, more of an eye guy, a lot of noise from his camp getting into his head. Not his fault, but also his fault, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair take.
It's a fair take. Like, you have people that you trust and love that are in your ear. You should be getting X, Y, and Z. You should be handling this. Eventually, that's going to break you down. But you have to have the mental fortitude as a quarterback in college football at a supposed high program to be like, this is where I need to be. This is where I need to invest in. And I think he's learning that lesson being a backup at Oregon right now. I think this is a long play that Dylan Raiola don't know about the quarterback, but the man.
Back to Nebraska?
Back to Nebraska.
You get Anthony Calandria. Do you think there's any point in the preseason this year or even the regular season where the comparison gets made between him and Trinidad Chambliss' situation last year, where a guy just comes out of nowhere and ends up being the guy who rescues your program and makes you forget all about the guy who was supposed to be the starter?
My God. It didn't cross my mind until those words came out of your mouth, but now it feels like it's inevitable.
Because
right?
sometimes I have takes that maybe I personally don't believe in, but I think I could see a lot of people believing in, and I don't want to say them. Like, I think I may play a game this year with you where I take what I just said, whatever the equivalent of that is, and I just write it on a piece of paper, and we just put them in envelopes. And I'm just waiting for that take to happen so I can open the envelope.
Oh, you're going to Oz the Mentalist.
Maybe.
You're going to do that to me.
Yeah, maybe.
Kind of love that. Maybe just have a big, and if there's an alleged show going on, a big bowl, and just have notes put in of different takes that could possibly take place throughout the year.
If y'all were to do that, that would be cool.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe hold up a newspaper with that day's date next to me as I record the take.
Yeah.
You can never fake that.
Can't fake that.
If given the opportunity,
Can never fake
that's
that.
a good idea.
You think Calandria has the potential to be a Trinidad Chambliss this year?
I've never needed to be clearer. No.
Okay.
But
Hey, that edit's going to go crazy.
But what I'm saying is, who do they play in week 1? Who's Nebraska play? It's not a big opponent.
Ohio.
If they were to just body bag Ohio,
Right.
and they are prioritizing building his confidence against Ohio, Bowling Green, and North Dakota, you're telling me you couldn't see him go 31 of 46 in one of those games for 385, 4 touchdowns, and the message boards light up. Guys, we may have a trend on our hands. May have a Trinidad 2.0 on our hands. I could see that happening is what I'm saying.
Yeah, the reason why you can see that happening is that's exactly what took place last year. Before they hit Big Ten play, Nebraska was number 1 in pass defense. Dylan Raiolo had like 80% completion rating and was throwing for over 300 yards per game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Nebraska's back. And on this bus, we heard it louder than ever. Nebraska fan, by the way.
They
Nebraska
beat a
supporter.
spicy Cincinnati team.
They
They
did.
beat a spicy Cincinnati team. There were a lot of bets put on Cincinnati to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. Right?
Right.
It's probably accurate.
It's probably accurate.
Technically accurate.
That's how sportsbooks work.
Yeah.
Right? You bet on your team and you look at Nebraska and their history versus Cincinnati. I tell you what, that tight end, that quarterback they had. Some dogs.
Oh, no.
What? What happened? Sherm, what happened?
It finally hit.
Yeah, just
All to be said, I love the idea of 5-0 going into Indiana. I love it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5-0.
Mhm, you got it.
that would be nuts. 5-0 going in.
I just
versus
worry about
Indiana.
Michigan State, man. I do that. I mean, truly, like that's the only one you really have to worry about.
Can
in
I
the
say,
first 5
let me
games.
say it this way.
Go ahead.
If Nebraska's going to do anything this year
Mhm.
and they can't take care of business, like what? All right, let me ask it this way. I just paused one thought to start another one. You have to go on the road in conference play.
Yes.
If you've got to do that, yeah, you could go to Maryland or to Purdue, but not too far down the list of like desirable entry points to road conference play would be Michigan State.
That's fair.
Roster's been gutted. It's a first-year staff. Like, if you can't handle that, it's a moot point anyway. There's no point in talking about Indiana and whether you'll be undefeated in a couple of weeks anyway. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if we're having to worry about week 4, this entire conversation's off the rails anyway.
Yeah, we shouldn't even be having it.
Right.
So I like it. We're playing as if this needs to be, that's where you start to go.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we check a box. It's not going to be the most amazing win in the world, but it should be a win.
In a world where the November storyline is people weren't wrong about Nebraska, they were just early about Nebraska. In that world, they beat Michigan State by double digits.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. Being a co-host of this show, we spend a lot of time in the Big Ten. Where would you like to travel next? Big 12, SEC, ACC?
I'll go wherever you want to go. It seems like it's good business to go to the SEC.
Let's travel down. Let's go down south together.
Let's do it.
You've been called a bit of a homer when it comes to SEC. You were born in Georgia. You grew up in SEC country.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've done a fantastic job of getting rid of those claims towards you. But as you look at the landscape of where the SEC is right now, do you think, just in general, that there's somebody in that conference that can dethrone the Big Ten from a national championship standpoint?
My feel in July is I see one roster that looks like it measures up with the best rosters in the Big Ten, and that's Texas.
Yeah.
Problem there is there's no proof of concept with Texas. I know Ohio State can do it. I know Indiana can do it. Texas is equivalent in the Big Ten as Oregon. Loaded up with talent, high caliber coaching staffs, big high profile head coaches, but thus far haven't gotten the job done in postseason.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be crazy if they ended up meeting in the national title game this year. But I think I just came from SEC Media Days last week. So, you got the talking point of, well, how do you measure a conference's strength? Is it the depth of overall quality? Is it how many good teams are at the top? And to me, best is comprised of how many championship caliber teams do you have? Big Ten's got more. That means Big Ten's better right now. If you want to do a strength of schedule analysis, okay, that's different, but schedules aren't teams. Schedules don't play. Teams play.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're asking ourselves, man, look at all these, remove the logos, remove the conference patches, just look at these rosters, and you take Ohio State, and you take Oregon, and you take Texas, it's hard to differentiate there. And they all presumably will have plus quarterback play. See, that's my hang up on maybe Georgia. Georgia, I want to be there because I respect the heck out of Kirby Smart, love the personnel overall, especially love the defensive personnel. They won't have high-level wide receiver play, but they haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since the early 2000s, which is one of the wildest stats in college football. It's just, if I look at Gunnar Stockton, and you're telling me they got to run through Notre Dame, Miami, and Ohio State consecutively, do I think they're going to be able to match up QBs? 3 out of 3 in the postseason, and I'm not there yet with Georgia, I can be there with Texas. I can be there with Arch Manning.
Right.
Just like I could be there with Dante Moore. I could be there with Julian Sayin. I could be there with CJ Carr and whatnot. So I look at Texas right now, man, and it's up to the rest of the SEC to sort of pull their chair up to that table.
Yeah.
But the rest of the SEC loves to tell you, what has Texas proven to get that benefit of doubt? They haven't proven anything, but I'm trying to predict the future. I'm not trying to predict the past. That's easy.
Yeah. You look at Arch Manning in the back half of his season and how he handled it. He really started to come on. That's where that early game against Ohio State might have blundered him a little bit. The expectation on him going into the season was as high as I've ever seen for a quarterback.
And then people bailed after that.
People jump ship quickly. And you want to stick with him for a little bit. Florida takes place. You're like, okay, what's really happening here with Texas? And then he goes on this crazy ascension. I believe it was the Mississippi State game, right? Yeah. Where it was like, oh, here we go again. Then all of a sudden they turn it on with 14 minutes left in the game, and they get it done. He has a great stint, does a great. I mean, his best game probably all year was against Michigan in the bowl game. Unbelievable. Awesome game. Showed off the athletic ability, the wheels, and all of that. Then you go in the transfer portal and get the number 1 wide receiver in Cam Coleman. You already have a wide receiver room riddled with 5 stars. So you look at them on a roster and you're like, yeah, this team can really be something. My question is let's just play let's go to negative town.
Yep.
And let's just say Texas has an underwhelming year again, like some of the SEC haters want to say. They haven't earned the right to have this type of expectation on them after what happened last year. What is the conversation revolving around Sark? Because we've had a couple conversations about Matt Rule and coaches in the Big Ten where it's like these guys, it's like we wanted to keep them, then we paid them a bunch of money, and then it didn't go the way we wanted. Now we got Sark, who's an offensive genius. He's got the greatest football player with the last name Manning, and he's got a full roster of everybody. If they don't have the season they expect to have, which is a playoff berth, which is running it deep into the playoffs.
It's not just a playoff
It's a national championship, is what it is. It's very hard for me to go and just bluntly say national championship because that's clearly, there's probably 12 teams that are banging that drum right now.
Less than that.
You think less than that?
They're just one of them, yeah.
We're going to take a quick break from this episode. This right here, that's Lucy. That's my daily espresso. It's my favorite flavor, hands down. It's got a little bite and burst, little popper you put in there. Listen to this. Boom. Hits you with the flavor and it never gets old. Usually I use it to lock in, but if I ever need a little focus, a little energy boost, this is what I reach for. Pre-workout, post-workout, it doesn't matter. It works either way. These bad boys right here, they go up to 12 milligrams. This right here, this is an 8-piece. So kind of a big deal on that one. So if you need something with a little more kick, they've got you covered there too. And the thing I respect most about them, they're independently owned. They're proudly American-made, not some big tobacco brand playing dress up, and that matters to me. It should matter to you as well. Lucy is the only pouch doing long-lasting, on-demand flavor like this. Get 20% off your first order at lucy.co/bussin. That's code BUSSIN. Here comes the fine print. Lucy products are for adults of legal age, and every customer is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Also, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we are brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Anything for a clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. Bud Light is the official sponsor of the NFL Draft, and UFC, now on Paramount+. Bud Light partners include Peyton Manning, George Kittle, Baker Mayfield, Taylor Lewan, Emmitt Smith, Shane Gillis, Will Compton, Post Malone, and Bruce Buffer, voice of the UFC. Stock up on Bud Light. Head to www.budlight.com/locator to find a store near you. Let's get back to this episode. So when it comes to Sark, is this a boomer bust year for him in your mind? And this is, you know what, we're getting a little takey. So if you want to punt on this, you're more than welcome to. But it feels like it's getting a little loud in the burnt orange and white.
This is the only team you should be talking that way about in the SEC. Texas is the only team who is national championship or bust in the SEC.
Ooh.
I mean, I never say that. I never say championship or bust.
That's like this strong of a
Yeah, I think it's a dumb conversation most of the time.
Yeah.
99% of the time when you talk about championship or bust, my retort to you is, okay, well, what does bust mean? Mm-hmm. Do you mean you're going to fire the guy? So, what are you talking about? I'm not comfortable with what I'm about to say. Let me preface everything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I don't believe in championship or bust because I think there are too many variables, even if you've got the most loaded roster known to mankind, when it comes to winning a championship. Yeah. Saban didn't win them every year at Alabama, and they were beyond loaded. They were more loaded than anyone is right now. So there's a lot of variables and injuries and bounce of ball that's still in play. However, I do think the reality down there is indicative of the overall new reality in college football. When you can buy virtually whichever talent you want, You can go any direction you want. They need a new tailback. Let's just go get 2 of them.
Right.
We want to fill out the receiver position. Let's go get Cam Coleman. We've already got Arch Manning. Let's go get a stud linebacker from Pitt. Like, let's just backfill at every turn with an option equal to or greater than what was already there. In a world where you can do that, and in a world where you haven't already won a championship, and in a world where, unlike the previous world, you're asking your big-time donors to heavily invest their money, scratch that, spend their money, because there's no return on it.
Yeah.
It's just spent money. Expectations and consequences could potentially get really out of whack really quick. So in a former life, if they're loaded and they make a good solid run and they get put out in an overtime classic semifinal game, man, that's tough. But this was still a good year. In this new world, I don't believe this way, but I think there are a lot of Texas people who could find themselves saying, this window's not going to be forever.
Mm-hmm.
And we've put ourselves in a position where we're doing everything we're asked to do. We sell this place out, and there are plenty of people turned away every Saturday. We are pumping tens of millions of dollars into this football program as basically a salary pool to acquire talent. This is not the olden days where it's a crapshoot and we got to develop players and we'll recruit them today and they'll play for us 3 years from now. This is a we can win now, and we're Texas, so we can win now in all caps because we got advantages that maybe 1 or 2 other teams in America has. If we can't win a title, that means the only thing keeping us from it is the head coach. And so it could get really uncomfortable. That's the trade-off. That guy knows that. Steve Sarkisian knows that.
Yeah.
So this is not a mystery to him. It's the quintessential to whom much is given, much is expected kind of paradox in college football, because it's nice to have that loaded roster. It's nice to have the front office they have, and it's nice to never be kept up at night wondering if you're going to be deficient in any talent position. But the trade-off is you better go win a national championship. It's like the Herman Boone scene at the beginning of Remember the Titans. I'm afraid I've put you in an untenable situation, coach. You lose a game. They'll fire you. So you go puke behind the stands, and then you go take the field.
Wipe your mouth and get after it.
That's it.
Wipe your mouth and get after it. Have you looked into Texas? Go ahead, Sherm.
I had some lore that I wanted to throw on top of that.
Go ahead, Laura up.
A lot of people talk about Joe Burrow's run in 2019.
Sure.
But they talk about the year prior.
Mm-hmm.
There was a moment that created Joe Burrow. Does anybody know what that moment
It was him getting his mouth busted open. Where were they? UCF? It was a bowl game.
In a
Yeah,
ball
it was. He threw an interception. He got blindsided.
There was a similar moment. Texas played Michigan.
Oh, it's the
Arch
zoom
Manning
in. Yeah.
on the sideline.
Play it.
And he mouthed, "I'm just going to stop giving a fuck." And then he went off on Michigan after
He even
that
looks like
moment.
Joe Burrow when he says that a little bit.
People are saying that Arch might have that Joey B mentality this year. The monster may have
Tell me that
been
didn't get you a
born.
little juiced up when Sherm brings that up.
It very much does, because it makes me think, is there a path this year where everyone's overthinking the room in August and July, and Texas just goes scorched earth on everyone? And it looks like Indiana looked last year, but with a more loaded roster, and they lay waste to the SEC. And by the time they get to the game on the road at Missouri, it's like Texas minus 20 on the road against conference opponents.
Yes.
And we find ourselves asking at the end of the year, who could give Texas the best game in the playoff, instead of, can Texas win in the playoffs? Because they're the only team in this conference with the kind of roster that, if it all clicks, could turn the conversation that violently one direction.
The phrase, who can give X team the best game, I feel like is a death sentence of a headline when ESPN, Fox, all these other companies do that. That always tells me this team is going to get throttled in the second round of the playoffs.
Except last year.
What do you mean?
Indiana. People started to talk that way about Indiana last year.
Yeah, but we were into what? They beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
And once they beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl, that conversation right there, at that point you have what, 2 more games to win and it's all over?
They had 2 more, yeah.
Right. If you're in November and you're saying what team is going to give this team even a good game.
Yep.
And the best example of that is Ohio State a couple of years ago. They ended up winning the national championship, but Michigan came in and punched them right in the mouth. And that if you have a schedule like this, which this is more of a question for generally everybody, because I'm starting to have difficulty with strength of schedule, because if Nick Saban came out and says just because you win championships doesn't mean you have the best conference. I disagree with that statement. I understand what he's trying to say. He's talking about for the meat and potatoes of your conference is better than any other conference, therefore making you the best conference. But if I look at strength of schedule and where the Big Ten has been the last 3-4 years, why are we looking at some of these schools in the SEC and being like, these schools are great when you go to bowl game season and these Big Ten teams are beating the SEC? To where is the schedule or these teams really as good as we say they are since the NIL era has taken off? This is open to the room. Doesn't have to be Josh Pate that answers this. That's kind of where I like the strength of schedule conversation I get a little lost.
Can I make a point?
Go ahead.
And it's advice to everyone out there, because this debate's going to be had a million times between now and the start of the season and beyond. Do you people notice how everyone in this bus, there are 47 people in here right now, everyone kept their mouth shut and they let you get your full question out. They didn't jump on in the first third of the question and go down some rabbit hole. They let you get the full context and the full thought. And it was painful because it was like a 1.5 minute long question. And they let you get the whole thing out.
Yes.
And that patiently sat here. All right. So then that's part one of my advice. Part two of my advice is I'm going to answer your question with a question because I really want to drill down. What specifically are we asking? Are we asking which conference is better and how we define better? Are we defining which conference strength of schedule is tougher to play? Are we asking how does that really manifest itself come playoff time? Like what specifically are we looking for? Because this is the thing I heard from Saban last week, and I heard him say one thing, and then I heard some people take it wildly different directions, and I intentionally listened to like 5 people's takes, and I sat there in silence and I said, it really feels like we need to further drill down on what point we're trying to make here, because everyone went all kinds of different directions. So what is it specifically you'd like to know?
What I would like to know is how are we defining how good these teams are with their, like the teams that they're playing. All right, let me actually think about this.
It's important.
It is important. Quick T, because I feel like we're on the edge of something right now. When we're looking at somebody's schedule and we're saying this is the strength of schedule, I feel like the majority of the world is looking at the logo still as opposed to the talent and how the NIL era has truly, whether you like it or not, has balanced out how the dominance of the SEC and the Big Ten has taken place. And so when we look at strength of schedule here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the top 10 teams are all SEC. So that is going to tell me that the SEC is the strongest conference. However, the SEC has not won a national championship in 3 years. In bowl games, which I will give the insurance policy of a lot of guys transfer, they forgo the bowl games now. Things are moving around a lot different ways, so the bowl games don't really give us a feel. But in the last couple of years, Big Ten has outperformed the SEC in bowl games against each other. So when I look at the top 25 strength of schedule here given by ESPN, I don't understand. First off, how is Michigan not in this? Because if you look at who Michigan plays, Penn State, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana. All right. 4 of those teams were in the playoffs last year. 4 of those teams. Two of them have won a national championship in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So how is that not in the top 10 as opposed to go up, please?
Yes, sir.
And I don't know these schedules, everybody's schedule. Arkansas, yeah, I haven't looked at anything as far as Arkansas. I hope Tyson Chicken figures it out. Like you look at these schools, they're playing clearly SEC teams, but Michigan's playing 2 national championship winners in the last 2 years and 4 teams that are in the top 15. So help me understand that. Did I land that plan at all for you?
You landed it. It bounced.
It bounced.
Yeah, you did a go around once,
and that's just how I operate.
No, you're asking what everyone's asking. All right,
right. I would like a definitive
yeah.
answer to that.
There are different conversations to have here. All right, firstly, if I took, who's your favorite to win the Super Bowl this year? Or is that premature?
It's premature, but we'll just go Buffalo Bills.
If I took the Buffalo Bills and I dropped them in the Big 12 this year,
sure,
they would go 12-0 in the regular season.
Yes.
And they would be the number 1 overall seed in the playoff. You would look at their schedule justifiably and say they didn't play the kind of schedule that Texas played.
Sure.
But that'd still be the Buffalo Bills. That'd still be the overwhelming favorite to win it all. They'd win every college football playoff game by multiple touchdowns. And it would turn out that the quality of team they are did not necessarily correlate with the strength of schedule they played. So clearly there's a detachment between how good you are as a team and how difficult your schedule was.
Right.
I think where the rub is not what your schedule says about your ability to win a title. Because Indiana was a national championship caliber team no matter who they played last year. The question becomes at the end of November, at the beginning of December, when they're selecting playoff teams, the question to me boils down, ironically, to like the 9, 10, 11, 12 type seeds. Because you're asking, if I'm 9-3 and I played Oklahoma's schedule and you're 10-2 and you played Oklahoma State's schedule or something like that, should I get benefit of doubt over you? And you could even talk about strength of record. Like I'm a big strength of record guy over strength of schedule. If my strength of record says even me at 3 losses is a better resume than you at 2 losses, that's where the rubber meets road on all this. Now, that's period. I begin the next sentence. You asked, if the Big Ten's winning championships, how could the SEC conference strength of schedule be looked at as more difficult? I think it's very simply that if you look at top 3 or 4 in Big Ten, they probably measure above and beyond top 3 or 4 in SEC. But I think there is still a lot of delineation between the second and third tier of the Big Ten and second and third tier of the SEC. If I took randomly the 9 seed from the SEC this year, maybe it's Florida or someone like that, and I take the 9 seed from the Big Ten, and I don't know who that would be, like Minnesota, someone like that. Clearly, there's more future pro talent on Florida's roster than Minnesota's.
Right.
So the working theory is if I have to go play Florida, even if that team's en route to a 6-6 year this year, it doesn't change the fact that if I face that group of talent on the right Saturday, they can get me. They have more difference makers on the field than Minnesota would have. This is just on an average Saturday. Or if, let's say Georgia goes and plays Florida, and let's say Ohio State goes and plays Minnesota, there is probably no one starting for Minnesota that Ohio State would trade starters for, just 1 for 1. Georgia may be the best team in this league this year. There will be players for Florida who are starting against Georgia that Georgia would gladly trade for 1 for 1. So that's where the strength of schedule argument comes down to. But it doesn't mean just because you faced a tougher strength of schedule that you're a better team than someone. And lastly, back to the bowl example. I don't value bowl outcomes at all. I don't think you need bowl results to make the Big Ten's case, by the way. But I will say I've had a working theory for a couple of years now. You could tie it to coaching, but you could also tie it downstream to overall pride and performance. I just think the Big Ten is better at hiring because they had to be for a long time because they could not count on a talent edge to bail them out. And then all of a sudden the SEC doesn't have the big talent edge anymore and they're getting exposed on the margins. And then point 2, I think straight up the pride and performance of the way Big Ten teams play is different than the way average SEC teams play.
Yeah.
I just think there's a lot more pride in playing for the brand on the helmet in the Big Ten in some cases than there is in the SEC.
Do you think there's more pride in the brand of the big individual Big Ten team playing for the Big Ten than the SEC?
I think the team-oriented cultures at many places in the Big Ten is better than what it should be in the SEC.
You're
and
talking
it's
about
not.
internally on the roster. Because I was going to say, SEC loves to tell you that the SEC is the best.
They do.
They love doing that. So where do we land?
I think the Big Ten is the best conference in college football because I measure best by how many national championship capable teams do I think you have. And I think the Big Ten has several. And I think the SEC may have one this year with others that can insert themselves into that discussion.
Right.
So that's where I land.
Okay.
But also, if Nick Saban's point was that Texas is going to play a harder schedule than Penn State, well, he's valid. That's true.
Right.
It doesn't change the reality that if Penn State's better than Georgia, they're better than Georgia. Georgia just had a tougher path to get to the end of November than Penn State did.
Yes. Okay.
So it's important to contextualize strength of schedule and strength of record properly, but it almost never gets presented that way.
And I think you did a great job right there because when you look at the best conference, you're looking at the top teams in the best conference and how they fare against all the other conferences.
And let me illustrate that. Let me tell you how people could get their logic thrown back in their face this year. Let's say Texas goes 16-0, undefeated, they win the national title. Let's say the next best team in the SEC went 8-4 in the regular season. So Texas was great, everyone else was average at best. Was that a good year for the SEC? Did the SEC prove they were the best conference in America because they won the national title?
Right. The answer to that would be no.
I think it's no.
Yeah.
But if the only thing you're going off of is national championships, then the SEC proved themselves. To me, what makes the Big Ten so robust is not just they've won back-to-back-to-back titles and may win a fourth one this year. I'd probably pick them to win a fourth one this year. It's that they've done it with multiple teams, and other teams that weren't previously in the equation, i.e. Indiana, have gotten their act together. So like they're a more robust top of conference. It's not just Ohio State anymore. Michigan's done it. Ohio State's done it. Indiana's done it. Oregon hasn't done it, but may very well do it this year. And then the question becomes, all right, what's the equivalent of that in the SEC? You can't tell me you have that right now.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And you're saying Nick Saban, his argument is we don't have to worry about what the top of the conference is. Let's look at the whole conference as a whole.
I think those guys in the SEC understand Mississippi State any given year is going to have a really bad record, and you don't get any credit if you beat them. But every time you play Mississippi State, they randomly have line of scrimmage talent that's going to play on Sunday. They randomly have a safety that's going to be a round 2 pick down the road. There's some random freak show at receiver, and like they come out of that game having won a dogfight, and they think to themselves, that team's going to end up being 5-7. We're going to get criticized for playing them close. And yet I watched the caliber of athlete that was on the field today. They didn't have as many of them as we do. They didn't have the depth of them that we do, but that was not an easy thing we just went through today. Yeah. Whereas if I went and played Purdue, I would not be saying that. That's kind of their attitude.
Right. Yeah. The same thing goes for a team like South Carolina. Vanderbilt's starting to get to that point now too. Like they're starting to have more NFL talent around. Like JP Hovey, every time we watch his game on Sunday, he's pointing out 5 Gamecocks that are playing. It's like, how do you guys never put it together? Like put it together and go win.
Man,
it's just wild, man. It's wild. What was the scroll up real quick? Oh, I can't believe this LSU. That to me is the biggest wild card of this entire college football season.
I agree with you.
Because the issue last year with Brian Kelly, besides Brian Kelly, was the offense.
Great sentence. Great scouting report.
Thank you very much. The offense was an issue. Lane Kiffin comes in, regardless of all the extra noise that took place, how he left Ole Miss, all those things. If he can do one thing, it's he can scheme up a great offensive game plan week in and week out where they can score on anybody.
And put a roster together.
Which I believe is over $40 million. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but $40 million roster. They grabbed Sam Leavitt from ASU, who a couple of years ago went down to the wire with Texas. And then last year they forgot about him after he gets an injury when he was averaging over 50 yards rushing and throwing the ball over the yard. Bit of a dogfight with who? Mississippi State.
Yep.
But they ran 0 once again. That got them killed in the playoffs and also the last play of the game against Mississippi State. So I see this quarterback and then a barrage of NFL talent that's on there. Lane Kiffin comes in, the prodigal son. Is this like a boom or bust situation for LSU? Or could we give a little more leeway? Because now LSU has officially gone all in. They did the Brian Kelly experiment. I think from day one, we all sat there after that first press conference and go, this shit's not going to work out. This is water and oil. This is not something that blends together ever. Lane Kiffin, as quirky and all over the place he is, this guy's a great fit for LSU. I personally like them. I like them as a dark horse in the SEC conference.
Dark horse.
$40
million dark horse.
$40 million dark horse for based on the conversation we're having right now.
All right.
Because you got Texas. We just broke down Texas. We talked a little bit about Georgia. At the end of the day, Kirby Smart, his culture, Gunnar Stockton, the way he puts the team on his back. But then you look at the perimeter. So there's your question marks there. Alabama. They were 38th in rushing last year. So they're really, really bad is what they were. They were really bad. Yeah. It shows you how good Ty Simpson was throughout the entire year for them to put them into the playoffs. And then there's LSU, who is one behind them in rushing, and they go in the portal. They get the best offensive lineman. Is it Seton?
Yep.
They go get Seton in the portal. They go re-energize their entire offensive line. They just look like a team that has put the pieces together. And then the conversation comes up is, well, you just got a bunch of mercenaries once again going to a team. Texas Tech did it last year.
I think we ought to call them missionaries.
We should call them missionaries. Just one guy on top, girl on bottom, let it rip.
Not what I meant at all.
Oh. Missionary position is what I was going for.
Exactly.
You know what? That's probably where the alleged frat boy talk comes in. That's my bad. That's
not
a bad
Friday
brain.
caliber.
That's not frat caliber. Yeah. We shouldn't have that on this show because we're not a frat show. That being said, that's my long-winded way of saying I like LSU a lot in the SEC.
Yeah, they could be a nasty team. So the only team worse than Alabama rushing the ball in the SEC last year was LSU.
Yes.
But LSU went out and they took proactive measures to fix that. You mentioned the offensive line acquisitions. If offensive line's good for them, they should be good enough at tailback. They could be a nasty team this year. A couple of questions with them. Firstly is a question with,
Can you pull up the schedule, Sherm, while he's talking?
that's it, right?
Oh, it's right here. Perfect.
Any portal heavy team, you're always going to ask, how does this talent mesh together? It feels like that's a little bit of an overused doubting point these days. Like it's gonna work to some degree, I think. The follow-up question is this the kind of team that needs a long runway to get up to speed? Because they don't really have it. They play 3 losable games in their first 4 weeks. Because I count Clemson as a losable game.
Yep.
You have no idea week 1. FSU over Alabama last year. You have no idea what week 1 could bring. But with LSU, I don't believe in throwing out the dollar figure. The dollar figure is nothing without attaching the players to the dollar figure. So did you go buy the right players? And I think they bought the right players. So I think they could make a quantum leap this year. But it is, I agree with you, it's a little more of a dark horse situation because you have no idea. Your mind is so used to the traditional way of judging teams that when you have so much newness in the bucket, in such a competitive league, you struggle to see a team immediately jump into the top. But Lane Kiffin's lived the life he's going to live this year for a long time now. That's what they were doing at Ole Miss. They were just putting together a team year by year at Ole Miss. They weren't recruiting and developing. They had already divorced themselves from the myth that was how it was going to work. So it's not like he's in unfamiliar territory here. It's just a lot of new. And that's okay because they're not the only ones trying to pull that off. They're just the most extreme example of it.
It's a lot of new, and it takes a leader of men to get all those guys to cohesively come together.
Yep.
Joey McGuire is a great example. We were there for the spring tour. I mean, there's not a better vibe than Joey McGuire when you walk into that building. He grabbed all of us by the shoulders and the back. He's loving us up. He brought a couple of guys over. Look at this one. He's showing them off like prized possessions. Like, look at the size of my tackles that I have today. And you see that. I don't personally know Lane. I know you know Lane. Does Lane have that capability to take a $40 million roster, a bunch of missionaries coming in here and bringing them together throughout the entire spring and into the fall to do what Joey did at Texas Tech?
Yes. Unequivocally, yes. He's already done it. If Lane were here, and we do have a third chair open today.
Yeah.
If Lane were here, he could listen to this if we injected him with truth serum, and he could say, why are you asking, can I do this? I already did it. Did you not just watch what I did at Ole Miss? We did something there over a rolling stretch that's never happened. In the history of that program, it's never happened. So you're telling me I'm going to a place that I think is better, this is Lane talking, with better resources. I'm going to have a better talent roster. I got the quarterback I need. And you're asking me with the full wind of LSU in my sails, if I can do this? Like, why would you doubt me? It's almost like I've already had this talk.
Yeah, it sounds like you already have.
Yeah.
Have you?
It sounds like I've already had that talk.
Allegedly.
It seems
Allegedly.
that way.
It feels, yeah.
I just don't think there's a lack of confidence in Louisiana State University. That's what that's what I want to leave you with.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Any thoughts on that week 3 matchup?
Pretty biblical.
Ole Miss.
Pretty biblical.
I mean, Saban had another conversation about this. I don't know if it was the same interview he was doing, but he was talking about how he was at LSU, wins the national championship, goes to Miami, and his first coaching job back in college with Alabama, goes to play LSU, and that whole student section was killing him. There hours before the game, just murdering him. He said this will be 10 times worse when Lane Kiffin comes to Ole Miss.
To me, you got a lot to live up to. The Ole Miss fan base has a lot to live up to. When's the last time everyone circled an Ole Miss home game and built this myth, this idea up in their mind of what the Ole Miss fan base is going to create, like in terms of an environment? That hasn't happened in a long time. LSU gets that stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Like Ohio State. People talk about Michigan going in there. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be a tough environment. When's the last time we talked about that? With Ole Miss. That's a lot to live up to. Here's the problem. The problem sometimes is those kinds of games end up being your highest priced games, which means the richest of the alumni are the ones that grab up all the tickets. They're normally not the ones that are leaving the stadium with no voice afterwards. So a lot of times the deliverable does not match the hype on those games. And you tell me you couldn't see Lane Kiffin walking out of there with a 30-23 win, walking to the podium and saying something along the lines of, we probably played in 10 or 15 venues louder than this one. It was a good, solid environment, but this is not the toughest we'll deal with this year. You're telling me you couldn't see that?
That the post game press conference, I can completely see.
Yep.
Early thoughts, 30-23, I can't see.
Oh, it's just hypothetical.
I know.
But if
that's
Lane
what I hung on to because I'm thinking this is a game where Lane pulls out all the stops, he flexes his offensive muscle, and late in the game they have a chance to take a knee, and they're on the 15-yard line, and he goes, "Let's just throw it to the back of the
Why
end zone
not?
real
We
quick."
need these guys to get work.
And then go for 2. Need
Yeah.
these guys
Yeah.
to get work. Wait, Lane, why'd you do it? You know what? We're still developing as a team. I wanted to make sure that guys got in, able to do what they needed to do, and see if they can work for us in October, November.
My only thought as far as fandom goes of Ole Miss, and my warning to the Ole Miss fans is do not overdo it in the Grove. Save it for the game. That's the only place where I could see the Ole Miss fans faltering is they overdo it in the Grove, and then we're having some fights in the stands. Too many people are getting kicked out. Hey, stop throwing stuff a little too early.
You want to know what I worry about? Could you pull up Ole Miss's schedule right quick? Talking about the old SEC strength of schedule flex. How about play LSU? It gets built up as a Super Bowl. We're just going to have you head to Gainesville a week later against an upstart Gators team under John Summerall. Don't really know what they're going to be bringing.
Right.
But the hangover effect of that LSU game will be true either way, win or lose. If they win, Florida by double digits the next week, clearly. But even if they lose,
I think so.
Hey, follow-up question. What happened in week 1? Did you get past Louisville in week 1? Don't know. Is that the surprise team that bombed September?
Is this the Penn State of 26?
I don't want to go that far. That's tough.
I mean, that would be.
It would be.
You said September, so it technically wouldn't be. But the team that fell off.
Penn State lost egregious games, though.
Penn State fell apart. It just showed their foundation. The pressure of you have to win a national championship. You have to get it done. 10-2 is no longer good enough.
They said that.
The minute,
James Franklin said that.
The minute that Oregon game happened.
Oh, boy.
It was.
UCLA.
I mean, you saw it. We all saw it.
We knew that early in the season, though, from inside sources.
Inside sources.
We knew that
Mitch had a Oklahoma quarter zip situation.
We knew
place.
that culture was a bit of an issue well before everything happened.
The Mitch curse is real. That is a real
I
thing.
love that our judge of culture is they wouldn't let us there. So
that's it.
It's the way they don't let you there. It's the way they.
It's not that they didn't let us.
You can
there.
gatekeep like Kurt Signetti. They told us, listen, we're keeping it in house. Only Josh Pate can come in our building. Okay, all good. But the way they were so blunt and so matter of fact, and we're not going to let it happen, Bussin' With The Boys. It's like I'm still good with that. Give me another day, give me another opportunity. Kurt Signetti is my head coach in college football, equivalent to Joe Burrow for me. That's kind of the world I live in with Kurt now. The way Penn State was handled last year, the way quarter zip was handled last year, am I preying on downfalls? Yeah, a little bit.
Mitch, did your story get fully told publicly? I know it.
I feel like you may. I don't know.
I know it. I'm asking, like, does everyone know what you're talking about?
Is he there anymore?
Yes, he is.
Okay, well,
Leave names out, but
leave names out.
So one of my former coaches.
Okay, well, there's a rabbit hole for the boys to go down right there.
That's very easy to
Susquehanna. Mitch is there.
Mitch read it.
Yeah.
I already said that. I hit him up and said, "Hey, we do our fall tour. And we wanted to go to the Oregon game, correct?
Yeah, we're talking about Oregon, Penn State, which
and
was
the whiteout. And he's like, "Let me ask you one question. What fan are you? What college football fan are you?" I said, "I'm an Ohio State fan," thinking he was just joshing with me. And then his next response is, we don't mess with that around here. Like, it's Penn State, ride or die. I'm like, listen, completely understand that. However, we've gone to ample amount of schools. Will and Taylor just love showing off the campus, like what the school has, all your facilities.
Ryan Day just came on the show.
Yeah, all of that.
Oh,
and he's like,
Josh,
no, we don't play that. We don't play that here. Wow. So, and then,
I'll tell you what, dude. You telling that story pissed me off, but what pissed me off more is that comment he just made. Because we used to have the monitor right here, and fucking Josh wants to sit in the locker room. I see the way you were looking away from the camera, and you knew.
I knew.
You knew.
And I knew that they don't.
The world
know.
didn't.
Yeah.
But hey, shout out Ryan Day. Shout out Ryan Day for body bagging me. This show, turning us down, winning the game, and going, you know what? I'll come on that show.
That's
you
my
said
head coach.
you said you'll go and move that NBC Fox interview. I'm gonna go on Bussin' With The Boys to look Taylor Lewan in the eyes. Had fun too. Hey, listen, we don't have to like each other, but I will say I respect Ryan Day at this point.
Yeah.
At this point.
Win for Ryan Day.
Huge win for Ryan Day. Let's get off of my soapbox. Let's get back on Penn State for just a second. That's lame, right? Almost use the G word there. That's lame. We can't do that.
But you're telling me he's still there?
Yeah, one of my buddies actually went up there for a job interview and was with him, and like he's pretty high up there.
SID?
No,
Player
like player personnel, whatever.
Well, we need to talk.
Them
Might
SIDs.
as well just say his name.
Yeah, exactly.
Susquehanna.
But hey, listen, this is all an allegedly. When it comes out and this guy gets mad, we didn't say your name.
We didn't say
We didn't say your name. It's not our fault that these fans decided to go put it in their hands.
And I think if we were to have a conversation, he would understand.
But let's just say this too.
I don't think he would.
It's clearly a
Sounds
new
like he
day.
wouldn't.
It's a new day at Penn State.
Matt Campbell would never do this.
No.
Matt Campbell would never-
if we offered to go there, he would
Offered
welcome
if
us
we
with
asked.
open arms. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying with the culture of Penn State with Franklin. They were so fucking whatever that I think now that they have Campbell, everything that Josh has said about Campbell, I do feel good about Penn State, and I would like to think that they've turned a new page.
They've thawed.
It's making a lot of sense too, because this happened before the year even started. And we've already kind of broke down the pressures that were taking place with Franklin, how they have to win, the alumni's pissed off, the board, whoever's overseeing Penn State, they're like, this is the year. If you don't get it done, we're done. And the pressures obviously leaked down. And we saw it happen after the Oregon game. But I think you saw it a little bit earlier in August. We were trying to make decisions whether we could or could not go there.
Yeah, I think it was the first couple weeks of the season.
And I don't know Matt Campbell. The only thing I know about Matt Campbell is what Josh Pate has told me. Seems like the guy's a homie. Seems like he's a future friend of the show, in my opinion.
Brock Purdy talked when he was on the show, loved him.
Loved him. And their schedule too. Love. Oh my God, what I would give for a schedule like that this year.
I don't want to rub salt in the wind,
Uh-oh.
but if a podcast being on your sideline is going to determine whether or not you win or lose a game,
Right?
Maybe they'll have one of the many
Energies
Penn State
are in the wrong
podcasts
place.
there.
Energies are in the wrong place.
Majoring in minors is what Meemaw called that.
yeah.
It's a great bar, by the way. It's the second or third time I've heard you say that in the last few months. And
Slightly related note, love Virginia Tech this year.
Yes. I'm kind of on. Pull up Virginia Tech's schedule. Because Franklin, that's what Penn State U now.
Oh, yeah.
Just like Penn State is Iowa State.
Yeah. That's where I kind of get a little lost on Penn State this year. But schedule's money. I was trying to tell the commissioner of college football, Josh Pate, last time he was with us, like, I don't know about Penn State this year. Like,
I just wanted to know what you
7-5 in the
meant.
Big 12. I don't think there'd be a competitive playoff roster. And then he's like, go look at their schedule, and walked away. Walked to the back of our shop. To the point where I looked it up. I was in the same place. There's only one exit in our shop. And I was like, hey, where's Josh? You were gone.
Yeah.
Like, you ninja smoked me and got out. That schedule is unbelievable. Is this it right here?
No, that's Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech? All right. Whatever that is. VMI. Sounds like a venereal disease.
Sounds like
That's
a military
1-0.
institute. That's what they play week one.
Okay.
Yep. Keep going.
Old Dominion. Maryland, dub. Boston College, dub. Not a Bill O'Brien fan. Pittsburgh. How do we feel about Pittsburgh?
Well, hold on. You're just kind of skipping through all this stuff like dub. Well, if they're not what they think they are, you can't just be skimming over all this stuff. But I agree with you. Dub.
Okay. Pitt.
Win.
Cal. Win.
That's at Cal.
Okay.
That's at Cal.
And that's where it brings up the coast-to-coast flights.
You know Cal's quarterback.
No, I don't. He's a dog. Who is it?
All right.
Okay. If it's one, yeah.
Jaron Kiawe Sagapalatelli.
It's impressive.
He's good.
Jared, what's his name?
Is it Jared or Jaren?
Jaren.
Kiawe Sagapalatelli is the second and third part of it.
I think
If I can get
crushed it.
Jaren or Jared, that's easy.
Yeah.
The second part of that last name.
Kiawe Sagapalatelli.
Where'd he come from? Is he born? Is he?
Yeah,
He transferred.
Well, no, yeah, but did he transferred him from where?
He's been there.
He's
But
been
where
there.
was it? He flipped late, right?
He was at Oregon, right?
Oregon, yeah, and then one.
Oh, I got a story. You know what? We're not telling that story. But he was at
tell that
Oregon.
story?
I'll tell you later. He was at Oregon.
He was at Oregon for.
I'll tell you. So he committed to Oregon. I think this is the guy. He commits to Oregon. He's there for their bowl practices or playoff practices 2 years ago. And then he asked for his release. And the thinking is he got on campus and he saw Dante Moore and realized, I don't think I'm beating him out. And I want to play immediately. And I mean, Oregon's pissed at it, obviously, because like you think a guy's coming in there to fortify your roster at that position for 2 or 3 years to come, and all of a sudden he wants to hit the exit door. So like, what are you going to do? From an optics perspective, if you fight it, then you get labeled in the agency world as their anti-player. And so Lanning had a tough decision to make, and they let him go. But he's clearly a good player because he's going to go to Cal this year. Dude, they may end up having like the second best quarterback in the Big Ten. He's going to be way up there in terms of, or ACC, not Big Ten. Overall, like ACC
when you said Big
hierarchy.
Ten, I was like, holy shit, Cal's in the Big Ten.
Big churn.
I just take everything you say as 100%. So I'm like, oh my
Dangerous.
God.
But I think Darian
Berkeley?
Mensah is the best quarterback in that league. Who's the second best quarterback in the league? You may very well be looking at
The
him
name
right
you said that I can't pronounce still.
Jaron Callaway Sagapolitelli.
I do find it funny that you did
Chris
crush his
Vizina.
name. It's Jaron, Jaron, but they call him JKS for short.
JKS, I like that
doing that.
way
Let's just
better.
start saying,
JKS.
But very impressive, Josh Pate.
Yeah.
But we'll call him JKS.
Okay, so Cal.
I think Cal's going to be a tough game for them.
Yeah, okay, Cal's a dogfight. Let's put that as an L. Georgia Tech.
A lot of newness down there.
A lot of newness. They have a hell of a running back if he can stay healthy.
Got Mendoza's brother at quarterback.
Mendoza's brother.
Kind of nice.
I went and watched them scrimmage in the spring, and it was so classic. Wow play, oh no. Wow play, oh no. It's like every other play is either jaws on the ground for a good reason or jaws on the ground and then get out of the way because the corner's taking the ball the other way.
Let me ask you this, dude. When you go and you watch these spring practices, what is your thought process on just putting a stamp on these players? Like, do you sit back and go, okay, I'm only watching one practice, so I'm not going to put my 100% opinion on these guys? Or what you see is what you get, and that is now going to define your opinion for the rest of the year?
Can't let that happen.
Can't let that happen.
You're watching one practice.
Right.
What I like to do is, so I'm using my eyeballs. These are not a coach's eyeballs. So I got to take that into consideration. You know what stands out to you. A lot of times you're going in there and you have opinions of guys and you want your eyes to verify. Everything from height, weight, to explosivity, to where is he fitting in the depth chart is what we've been told publicly, matching up with what my eyes are seeing. And then what you want to do is you want to ask the coaching staff as many questions, kind of trying to verify what you saw. Because a lot of times, like there was a moment, I'm not going to say the team, but there was a moment this last spring where I see a guy and I just so happened to see him on like his career day. And I ask and I get told that guy's not going to be a factor on this team this fall.
No way.
And just point blank, that guy's not, unless we have tons of injury, that guy's probably not going to be a factor. A little bit of a character thing, but also he's wildly inconsistent. But to me, I watch 90 minutes and I think, is that a dark horse all conference guy? And no, it turns out he's just dark. He's just a dark horse. He's just going to be off the radar.
Oh,
I caught it. I caught it.
Huh. Yeah, because nothing bothers me more than when people go to a spring practice,
Here we go.
they see players, and they may or may not have a good or a bad day, and they want to define that person.
Got to be careful.
Got to be careful. Even if you played in the NFL, even if you're a potential Hall of Fame guy, even if you're a DB, that has been watching quarterbacks your whole entire life. Those are the types of things I'm like, you need to stay away from that type of situation.
You got to be careful about this too. You guys went and saw Miami in the spring.
Yeah.
Miami's defensive line. There are guys out in the spring. So you got to be careful what you're watching and then like contextualize it with, or how good do I think that unit's going to be? Well, they looked a little iffy today. Well, first off, they were in shells. Secondly, 3 starters are out at that unit. So like, how do I just got to contextualize it all properly.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when I was in Miami and we had this conversation of, hey, the offensive line looks really good, but I've never walked into watching one-on-ones, been a part of them, watched them on film, watched other teams where an O-line wins 90% of the reps. And then you go back from the 2 guys they had last year, the bookend defensive ends, it's like, oh, there's a huge drop-off. And then we go and sit with Cristobal, and he's like, just so you guys know, we have a bunch of guys out sitting there, whether it's injuries or resting guys or whatever.
Yeah.
Miami, I'm excited to watch this year. I mean, they're the, like you talked about Texas and the SEC, Miami is that of the ACC.
There have been, over the past week, I was really trying to nail down my national title pick. And I've gone back and forth, so I'm not nailed down on it. But there were 2 of the last 7 days where I laid my head on my pillow thinking I'm going to pick Miami to win the national title.
Wow.
That's how high I am on that.
Cristobal's a homie too. I mean, that is one school too. Is you point out SMU? I was going to go to the one before that, Clemson. Like Dabo, what's the future for Dabo if it doesn't go the way we want to?
That's a whole show.
Right.
That's a whole
And we don't
show.
have to. We've been on here for 2 hours. Like, we don't have to go through all of that. But it could get rocky fast.
It's the most unique situation of any major program. Sark is unique for one reason. Dabo's unique for a totally different reason. Like, think this through. I spent 2 days with this man this spring. He's awesome. It is a great hang. Dabo Swinney is 1,000% resolute that they've made the right moves they need to make, that they're not done. They're just getting started. He's going to be there for a long time. They're going to pull the nose up. They will win another national title at Clemson. He is 1,000% resolute. He will look daggers through your eyes when he says that. You watch Clemson. Do you feel that's the trajectory of that program?
I do not.
I personally don't either. I'd love for him to be right because I love Dabo Swinney, but I don't feel that either. I felt like if you were going to do it, last year's team was the team to do it. And then this year there's a lot of unknown. Okay, but let's just take that worldview Dabo has versus the opinion you and I happen to hold that I think majority would agree with us. He's proven people wrong before, and he will bottle that up this year. He'll bottle up the whole, oh, they're doubting us again. You know what we've done historically when people doubt us. I don't know that history is always the absolute best indicator of what the future holds in the sport, but that's where the disconnect is. Like, that's where it's such a unique case, because in a normal world, when there's expectation and you fall flat, you're on the hot seat next year. And if you don't deliver the next year, you're fired.
Right.
But this is Dabo Swinney. It's the face of Clemson football. Now and for the foreseeable future, unless someone comes in there and does something truly decade-long historic, Dabo Swinney is Clemson football. And it wasn't that when I was a child. So he's come along since I have existed and totally redefined the face of a major program. He won multiple national titles. He did it against the apex predator in the sport while that apex predator was at its best in Alabama. The dude's a legend. He's an icon. He's like Rushmore caliber in my lifetime of head coaches. So are you really going to tell me they're going to tell that guy, thanks but no thanks, you're done here? Is that how the exit would work?
No, it's for sure not.
In a situation where it goes
mutually
sideways.
parted ways would be the terminology they would use on the breaking graphic.
Okay, and sometimes that happens. When you got infinite amounts of respect for someone, both in sports and in the business world, and it just comes time, you mutually decide to part ways. And it's negotiated, and there's a buyout, and you've got like a cushy administrative job afterwards, whatever you want. I don't get the sense that's how Dabo would leave Clemson, because that is not where his mind is at.
Right.
Dabo Swinney does not believe he's on the last few holes of his career. Dabo Swinney thinks they're about to turn to the back nine right now. Like, that's just how he views himself. And people can think, oh, that's so myopic. Like, that is completely delusional. This man has made an entire career of proving people wrong. So you got to understand, they've told that guy he's delusional before, and they've won titles. So you thinking he's delusional is just indicative to him that I must be on the right track then.
Right.
Like, this does not faze him. It's
He's
not
seen
on
this
his
playbook
radar.
before.
Yo, it's not on his radar.
In your conversation with him, thank you. Googled myopic, nearsighted or short-sighted. Needed that. You have a beautiful vocabulary. When your time with Dabo, did he give you his opinion on NIL? I know he's expressed it publicly, but it seems like a lot of these coaches that were so successful pre-NIL get into the NIL world, and they are of the thought process that we just need to keep being who we are. We don't need to conform to what college football is. College football can stay with us.
Yeah, so his opinion is a lot of people's opinions. He is the face of a lot of opinions that many share, which is, the whole, hey, I'm not anti-players getting paid. I wish we had guardrails. I wish we had more guidelines. I wish we had proper structure to this world. Also, I wish what players make was public so we could get a better sense of what the quote unquote market is. And then of course there's going to be some dude on the side of the road yelling, yeah, you should collectively bargain it. And then someone else is going to yell, we can't collective bargain with college athletes. That's different. That makes them employees. And then that group says, what's so bad about that? And then that group says, I'll tell you what's so bad about that. And you just want the season to start at that point. Yeah, you don't want to.
And then you just realize it's July and we need college football more than ever.
Correct. But he has the opinion. He's an old school kind of guy. So he leans more traditionalist in his views. But at the same time, they just took, 10 portal guys, I think, in this past cycle. So they're going to have guys, specifically Tom Allen is his coordinator, second-year defensive coordinator. And he just flat out looked and said, the thing about our secondary is they can't run fast enough. So we need to get speed in our secondary. So they went to the portal and they tried to overhaul their defensive secondary. And we'll see how they did. But this is the first go around of Dabo sort of, I won't say resisting, but trying. But like he's kind of dipping his toe into the concept of using the portal more. It'll never be the lean-to, but it'll be a resource they could use. I've just always looked, my big gripe with the way they've run things over there is they've got the Clemson way. They've got the characteristics and the values they want a Clemson player to have. People can think that's hokey. I love that. That's college football to me. I've just never believed that those attributes are only able to be found in high school recruiting. I believe you could run a comb through the portal any given year, and most of it may get filtered out, okay? Your boxes you need to be checked, that may filter out 90% of the portal. But you're not looking to sign 30 or 40 kids. You're looking to sign 5 of them, let's say. I believe any given year there are 5 kids at positions of need for Clemson University in the portal that it would not hurt you at all and it would not sacrifice anything at all to go get. They're trying it this year. Was it a year too late? That's kind of the ... on Clemson.
Yeah. We'll find out week 1.
We will start to find out week 1, yes.
We will start.
We'll find
we'll
out.
100% definitively know by week 1.
That's it.
What's going to take place?
If they go down there and lose by 7?
No.
What is it?
The LSU Clemson thing is way different than Michigan, Oklahoma. Way different. Way different. You're looking at 2 products. Michigan, you're looking at kind of an individual. Does that make sense?
Yes. Go on, though. I just...
So if I'm looking at LSU, you have a $40 million roster. You're not saying if this 1 or 2 guys are successful, then that'll kind of push the train in the direction it needs to go.
Gotcha.
Same thing with Clemson. It's like, okay, they brought their 10 guys into the roster. They've revamped their secondary. Now we can see how they start to mesh together. Those things are things that you can go based on the result that takes place in week 1 and go, that'll take time. That's where I kind of lean back a little bit more of when you look at Michigan, it's like you look at the roster and you know where you're successful at and where your question marks are.
Fair.
Given all the areas where you feel very positive about, they massively outweigh the concerns. But that one concern is your quarterback. And that's where you'll know a little bit more about the identity of, well, not the identity, but the success of your team as opposed to these 2 teams.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's
okay,
fair.
that's a
That's
fair
fair.
comment. We'll take that. We have been on the show for it's been over 2 hours, right?
Yep.
We're kind of we're taking Josh Pate's time.
Yes.
I actually don't have to be anywhere until tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, perfect.
I'm good.
24-hour episode. But let's quickly go over.
Should we raise money for charity? Should we do a
Should we do
telethon?
that? Should we do
get
that?
a bank of phones in here?
I mean, you saw some tornadoes this year. Actually, just one tornado you said you saw.
One tornado.
That area you saw it in could probably use some charity work.
Unbelievable.
How crazy.
Very crazy.
Do you want to tell those stories or do we kind of just leave those stories to ourselves and our own personal lives?
I'm glad to tell the story.
Okay, go
It
ahead.
was Effingham, Illinois.
Yeah.
It was about a month and a half ago. The tornado sniffer was riding shotgun. I was driving. We had driven all day.
You drove.
I only drive. I don't trust anyone to drive.
Control freak.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So there's video. I've got full video of this on our YouTube channel if anyone's interested. But who's that calling me? No, the
president?
bank. Just the bank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not in it for the money though.
That's right. You're in for the love of the game.
I'm a fan of money. I'd like to have more of it, but I'm not in it for the money.
Right.
So we are heading due west. There's a tornado in a field right in front of us. We are headed due west. This tornado is moving east-southeast. So if you think you're running alongside it, it's going to cross the road at some point. We have to determine very quickly whether we can beat this thing, whether we can get past it before it crosses the road. Split-second decision, we think we can make it. We drive through the outer circulation. So technically you have to drive through the tornado, but we know it's outer circulation. It's not going to pick us up. Fingers crossed. We get through. We come up on an intersection. I take a left. I Y-turn it and turn it back around in time for that tornado to go across the road in front of us. We're less than 50 yards away from it, and it wiped a building clean. It partially destroyed another house, and the smell, so you roll down the windows, the most vivid sensory overload is the smell of topsoil and vegetation because it's ripping trees right in front of you. And it clogs your nostrils almost as strongly as like if you opened a magic marker and put it under your nose, or you walked up to a gas pump and gas spilled all over the place. The thickness of the gas fumes in your nostrils, that's how thick the the smell of topsoil and vegetation was as soon as we rolled the window down. And then we come in behind it and there's destruction everywhere. Now, we took some heat for not stopping and helping people. What the YouTube commenters did not know is we had already coordinated with 3 other chase teams who are on the other side of the tornado. So as soon as that tornado comes through, they're already there. They're on the other side of that building. They're already rendering first aid. So our modus operandi when we're in the field is we already know where each other is. And we know if this building just got leveled, then we got to take it if no one's there. But if someone else is there, this thing's still on the ground. So we leave first response to them and we continue to follow behind that tornado. That's what we did.
Right.
Unbelievable experience. Prez, camera guy, was in the back seat. First tornado ever.
Shit himself?
He was totally calm.
No way.
Suspiciously calm.
Yeah.
Like to the point where I ask, is substance involved here? Are you a real human?
Right.
Because I was surprised by that.
How calm he was.
He was very calm.
That is gotta put some question marks on some guys like that. We talked about it. I think it was on a show a couple weeks ago about things we said we'd do, but we never did. And one of the things that popped up was go storm chasing with Josh Pate in March.
But here's the thing. In April and May is open too. I did not go on a chase all year that I think would have been conducive for you to come on.
I love that.
Because these were multi-day chases. Many of them we struck out on. And this one we finally like hit the jackpot on, but it was at the very, very end. And so you would have had to go through a pretty excruciating several thousand miles traveled of striking out to end up cashing in on that.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. If you're trying to show somebody the game, this is not the year you would have wanted to do that. Because I probably would have quit. I've been like, would have gone back to national, and you'd be like, there's another one. I'd be like, you go ahead.
We did not have the opportunity to do Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska on a prime outbreak day this year. That doesn't mean anything about 2027.
That means this relationship is just 1 year longer.
Yep.
I kind of like it. It says we need to hit these 3 things back to back before wrapping. Okay, Ro, spicy tier talk. First date activities. I know it's been a while since you've been on a first date.
Yeah.
It's also been a while since I've been on a first date. Deke started the pre-production meeting by saying intercourse is the first thing you can do as far as like tier talk goes. Ro, spicy tier talk. I'll just put that at God tier. We'll just put that at God tier real quick. That we just kind of shelf that. Does anybody disagree?
No.
Okay. Also the silence is deafening. So, well, we'll just shelf it. We'll put it in the corner.
There you go.
That's a bonus. That's a
take.
bonus.
It's a thing that could happen.
Best first date activities. Best first date activities. I'm just going to throw one out there. This is going to be more of a high school one. This is if you're in high school, you're looking to find love, but you're also looking to find somebody that you can marry and have children with. Batting cages.
Oh, buddy.
And I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes you just want to know, like, hey, if we're going to go the distance together and I'm going to reproduce with you, I want to see what that hand-eye is all about.
That's gorgeous.
You like that one?
Yes.
Get him in there. We'll start him at the 35-mile-an-hour one. And I want to see that swing. More than anything, I want to see the warm-up swing.
Yeah.
Because if that nub's coming down, I think we got something.
You know what else you want to see is the mentality when they're in the box.
Right.
Type shit.
Hell yeah.
That's going to be half your child one day.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, yeah, are you going to face it or what? Boys, we got anything in the back?
Someone said paintballing when we were off.
That's insane.
the
I like
pond,
that.
And I loved that answer.
Same team or different teams?
Oh, different teams.
Yeah, you got to light her up.
Light her up.
It's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
You got to light her up.
Just heard a bunch of welts on her side and be like, had a great time with you today. That was amazing.
You want to know what me and Savannah French at the time did on our first date?
I'd love to hear.
She came to Nashville. She was up here visiting a friend. I caught wind of it. So I asked if she just wanted to go hang out, go get dinner, whatever. We do it. Then we end up just driving around. You can't ever go wrong with a drive. And she ends up confiding in me that she's about to go back because she was working at Alabama at the time. She's about to go back home and tell Nick Saban that she's leaving. It's just not related to me. Like her dad was not in a good way. So she wanted to go back home to caretake. So you're dropping some heavy stuff. First off, like she dropped intimate details about her family. I'm a college football junkie. She works at Alabama for Nick Saban and confides in me, hey, no one knows this but my family, but I got to go tell Coach Saban I'm quitting. And that's not going to be a fun trip back to Tuscaloosa. And so that was what we did. Great food, great conversation.
Yeah.
And I felt like at that point, it's all downhill from here.
Oh, yeah. But you get to learn a lot. You kind of make a decision right then and there, like, oh, this person's being this open with me. I kind of love that.
It was very, very unique. Like we had such a unique introduction. First time I met her family was at her father's funeral. I'm dead serious. First
Really?
time I met her mother in person was at her father's funeral.
How'd that
First
go?
time I met her family in general, honestly, like given the circumstances, I would say it went as well as it could. It was heavy though. So once you
Yeah.
go, my point is, once you go through that in your first month to month and a half of dating, you're thinking like most of the time you get this speech that the first month is all sunshine, rainbows, and you're talking to a grizzled marriage veteran of 20 years, and they're telling you tough times are to come. Just be ready to weather the storm. We drove straight into the storm.
Right.
We went straight into the storm.
Yeah.
Month one.
So is your answer car drive?
I don't think you can go wrong with the car drive if you're good in that setting.
Can I be honest with you? The more I'm thinking about like the funeral situation and meeting her family, it's kind of like, given the circumstances, a really good way to meet the family.
I'm introverted too.
Yeah. So like because when you meet somebody, there's a feeling of having to be a little bit performative. Like I want to show off my personality a little bit, or
Yeah.
like show like, this is why your daughter was interested in me. If you're at a funeral, the best move is to be quiet and as helpful as possible. Like you're not invested in what's taking place other than you're courting this individual who just lost somebody that they love very much.
Yep.
It's like, can I grab water for everybody? Is everybody like comfortable? If I'm sitting somewhere, the mom walks in, I stand up, hey, take a seat. Absolutely. And you can kind of just fall back where they walk away and you're not the main topic of conversation because that's what's already taken place,
Sure.
the funeral. But there's a point where they go, hey, by the way, Josh seems like a really nice guy. And all you did was just be helpful.
That was the dynamic. That was the dynamic.
Kind of a hack.
An unfortunate hack.
Unfortunate.
Very.
An unfortunate hack took place. So car ride.
Car ride's good if you're a good conversationalist and you're a good driver.
Got to be a good driver.
Yeah, know where you're going.
Yep.
Don't GPS.
No.
Don't do that.
Right.
Especially in your hometown. Boggles my mind how many people don't know their way around their hometown.
I'll tell you what, dude, though. But like Tennessee.
Somebody.
If
Same
you-
hometown.
Like if you've lived in a city
Okay,
for
good,
more
good.
than 2 years,
Okay.
you're still GPSing your way.
I'll be real with you, though. I've lived here for 12 years, and sometimes I got to pop on a little something.
But not on your normal commutes.
No,
Well,
no.
I mean,
Not
I
at
do
all.
it for traffic sometimes.
That's different.
Yeah, like what's the quickest way to get across
Yeah, that's
town?
different.
Yeah. Okay, then never mind.
There are a lot of people I just take for granted. Like I grew up, man. First off, I was like a geography nerd. So I know maps, I know cities, I know all that. I just take for granted that people know if you're in Nashville, which direction is Wyoming? Or if you're in Nashville and you want to go to Tallahassee, Florida, like, are you going to hook up with 24 to Chattanooga and then take 75 all the way down to Tallahassee? I take for granted that people kind of loosely know that, but they don't. But the extreme example of that is there are people who pull out of their driveway every day of their life and GPS the grocery store that they go to.
That's heartbreaking.
And they divorce themselves from ever memorizing how to drive. So anyway, if it's a first date and you're doing that, no, I don't think a
No,
drive's
that's not a
good.
good move.
That's
No.
embarrassing.
Yeah, you know what's embarrassing? Flying with somebody to Las Vegas, Nevada, and being from Arizona and telling them, oh, this is a kind of a similar landscape as what Arizona is. Them asking where Arizona is because they thought it was more in the north.
Is that me?
That's you.
Wow.
The first time Jared and I went to Vegas and we were doing a vlog.
You said we could drive there from here. I was like, drive. I was like,
I was like, yeah, it's full.
Is it in the middle of the
I was
country?
on the same spiel as I was on the way to the Fiesta Bowl. Arizona's the best state.
When
Here's
people
why it's the
say-
best
and
state.
then Will Compton just, bro, no one likes Arizona.
Yeah, that was just crazy. He's a nasty. But that's probably why I have strep now, dude. That's karma.
Wow.
That's probably what I'm just saying. It could be could be a reason. Strep throat, 36 years old. Is that how old it is? 36?
yeah.
Is he 36 or 37?
Is strep something you grow out of, like chicken pox? Is it not something you're supposed to get when you're
I don't
old?
think it's something you really get as an adult.
Kids that are ripping around like that.
I don't know, dude. I got it when I was 21. Got my tonsils out. Haven't sniffed it since.
That's why. Because you don't have your tonsils.
Oh, you can't get strep throat. If you,
Yeah,
That's
no,
I can't get strep throat.
no, that's why you got
That's
them out.
crazy. You
I've
haven't got
not skinned
strep.
my knee in years. No, I got its prosthetic.
What other spicy tear talk first date activities? We need one more. Sure.
Skydiving.
You said paintballing.
Skydiving.
Skydiving's crazy, dude.
Skydiving would be crazy,
That's a terrible first day.
but it puts you in the tunnel of chaos where you're really getting to know the person.
Can I I'll give another one.
Yes.
State Fair.
That's a good one.
I feel like that's
good
like
one.
you see it in every single rom-com.
That's America 250, man.
Yeah,
That's great.
that is exactly what
That's
that is.
corn dog.
You
That's a
go in
pretty
and
niche time of year, though. You
I
got a
know.
specific window to hit.
But if you're able to
Oh,
knock down all those cans and get her the big teddy bear, I mean, cancel Christmas. You're doing what Deke talked about pre-production. You know.
What's better than to fall in love?
Wow, very nice.
Just saying.
Very cool.
Hey, very cool. You know what's also really, really cool?
Go ahead.
What's that sign behind you say right there, Taylor?
The boys.
And what's that sign to the right of that one say?
Like stage right or my right?
Oh,
Great question.
great question.
That's a corporate question.
Great question.
That's someone who's done this thing before.
That would be your right when you're facing.
Bud Light. Bud Light question.
Have you ever been asked the Bud Light question?
I've personally never been asked a Bud Light question. You've been asked a Bud Light question, haven't you?
Probably several times.
What would you do anything for? People would do anything for a nice
Just
cold
go
Bud
back
Light.
in time.
He wanted to watch the dinosaurs.
That was
Oh,
a
yeah.
fantastic answer.
Yeah. You know, another one that I would love to go back and see is the entire beginning to end of the David versus Goliath story play out.
Dude, imagine, like, let's say that battle took place on a Saturday. Imagine if there was a pre-show on a Friday where people can get on their mules or whatever and head on over to watch people break down David versus Goliath and kind of be a boring show where everyone's like, yeah, Goliath is going to run all over this cat. He's got no choice. He's got a what? He's got a slingshot. They start talking about accuracy numbers of slingshot and David's frail body, only to have one of the greatest upsets of all time take place.
Yeah, it's not even old school. It's literally Old Testament.
It's Old Testament.
But the thing about it is, if you read the story, first off, David is like 5 foot nothing, 100 pounds nothing, and it just doesn't even faze him. He's like, I'll kill him. And the general says, no, you're a boy. That dude's like 18 feet tall. You can't kill him. And he says, I've killed lions and bears before. And it just skims over that.
And no one really talks about it.
Because he's a shepherd, so he's looking after sheep, and bears and lions have come after the sheep. And David just says, but I've killed lions and bears before. Have you ever seen a bear or a lion?
Not unless I'm at the zoo.
Then think about it in the wild. And what does it take to kill those? So if I'm armed with that, and I can verify it, if I'm a general, trust but verify, if I've taken one of those down, I'm not saying I'm favored against Goliath. I'm just saying the money line number just shrunk considerably.
What do you think the FanDuel odds would have been with that type of information? David versus Goliath on a Saturday at noon.
I still think Goliath's a minus 900, minus 1,000 money line favorite.
Yeah.
But I just think if you're armed with the information, see, that's where information becomes important.
Information is
if you
king.
know David has killed a lion and a bear, plus the confidence, like the mentality he walks in there with. He's cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah.
He goes and gets a few stones and no problem. And then he kills him and cuts his head off in front of his entire army. Holds that thing up.
With Goliath's
He's
sword.
favored the next week.
Can I?
promise you.
Oh, he's goated for that. Can you think about a 5 foot nothing, 100 pound nothing guy severing the head of an 18-foot giant and holding it over his head? That's probably the most unbelievable part of that entire story. Doesn't even make sense.
How
right?
long does it take, do you think, to cut off? I mean, realistically, I think Goliath was like 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
That's a thick neck.
That's a thick neck.
How long does it take to cut that head off?
Long enough for the crowd to go from really excited to
It's
this is
really
a little
awkward.
uncomfortable.
It's quiet. Yeah.
And everyone kind of just quiets down. You just hear like arteries and cartilage.
The Fox piano injury music plays.
Yeah, literally long enough for you and me to go, we'll be back right after these messages and have a full commercial break.
The Patriot scene with the hatchet where it's
Yeah.
just over and over and over.
Yeah, and how sharp is that knife?
And he
is
did
it a
with
sword?
He did it with Goliath's sword. So think about how big that sword was.
Again.
Well, David turned down armor because he couldn't support the armor.
Yeah.
So he said, I don't even need all this
A lot
stuff.
of holes in this story.
That's why Josh wants to go back and see it.
Yeah.
You got to go back and see it.
I want to see it for myself. I don't doubt that it happened. I want to see it happen.
I know we were like supposed to wrap, but we're talking, me, Jared, and Will Compton were talking about the greatest superpowers to have.
Mhm.
And when you brought up going back in time, I think I have the greatest superpower of all time. That if you were to say, hey, if you have a superpower, what would it be? And it would be to control time. Control time, go back, go forward. Something happens. Let's say allegedly there's a show that takes place in the fall on Fridays. All right, we're on location. You say something so outlandish, it just came out of your mouth. You didn't even mean to.
The players are dark.
But yeah. And then you meant to say dark horse,
Yes.
but you didn't get the horse
Yes.
out because we went right to commercial break. And it's like, oh my God, he's done. You can just rewind, kind of like Click. Is there a better superpower than that? I don't think so. But we've already worked all that out. There's no remote. You do it to yourself. You're living in the time. Let's say I'm tired right now. I can pause this whole thing, go take a nap, come back. You ask me a question. You know who the Cal quarterback is, don't you? And I'm like, wow. And I go look at it and I come back and I play. I'm like, yeah, why? Boom. Win every trivia, every Baccarat hand, dub. I mean, is that not the greatest? Go ahead.
They're asking who you think's going to win on Saturday. You pause, fast forward, quick see, and you're like, I think Texas is going to win this game. Arch
Right.
Manning's going to throw for 350 yards.
And you just have crystal ball type of
That would be
call
sick.
outs. It's 3rd and 6, 4 seconds left in the game. Arch Manning runs it in on the left hash. I mean, buddy.
Is there
Absolutely.
any purpose in life though with this superpower?
That's
You lose
true.
all purpose.
You cannot abuse it, and you
Oh,
got to
I'll
be
abuse it.
disciplined with it.
I would abuse the
I
shit
think
out
you
of
could
it.
become numb to it then.
You'd be so miserable. There's no fun.
I don't know. If Taylor's
You
winning
guys
all
don't
his
know,
hands in
man.
Baccarat, I don't think he could ever
I'm
be
not miserable, dude. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying every bit of it.
You would know.
I am so easy to entertain.
Yeah, but you would know every single thing like that is going to happen to where there's no variability of you like you're gambling there's no shot of you losing. So
No. Because I would just take L days. I would do like once
have
every
to.
couple of months. I do an L day.
Oh, you'd be a billionaire.
I'd be a billionaire. I'd be messing around.
Hold on. You have the ability to bend time to your favor,
Yeah.
and you think you need to gamble in a casino to become a billionaire?
No, that's just for fun.
That's for fun. Okay.
Because listen, now, okay, first off, I'm able to bend time, but no one knows I can bend time. Eventually, there's going to be a book written about all my successes. How do I want to start? How did Taylor make it? I'm bending time. I'm not even playing in football anymore. Taylor's 18 years old. He had a stick and one of those bandanas with a sandwich in it, and I've just got to Vegas somehow. $5 in my pocket, turned it to 10 million. How do you do that? That's
Oh, I see.
incredible.
You're changing your story.
I
I'm
see.
changing my story.
You don't even accept that your story up to this point is your real story.
Oh, yeah.
You're going
No.
back and rewriting everything.
Yeah. And then you know what I'll do again once I get bored of that? Do a different one.
Start over.
That's kind of sick. You
Do
can
you-
just keep
Do a different
reliving
one. I'll do the
different
reliving.
lives.
Maybe go back to
listen,
David and
I've had a phenomenal life.
It's phenomenal.
I've had a phenomenal life.
Better than most.
Oh, yeah, better than most. But I can go rip around a little bit. I can come this one and ever. Literally use it like a filing cabinet. Just open it up. Be like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to 2026 today. Boom, right here, right now. Living a great life.
Wow.
And it goes unsaid, you would still go to that same restaurant and run into Taylor on that same day. You would have the day marked on your calendar.
Yes, it was my
Goes
house,
unsaid.
but everything. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Except for I would just go and find Taylor when she turned 18 because I feel like if I'm 30, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you see that?
There you go.
You know, isn't there a crazy movie about that where a guy, my wife watched this when she was pregnant, where a dude,
Time
traveler's wife, and he goes and he meets his wife when, have you seen this movie?
No.
Guy goes and meets his wife when she's like 5. And basically, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I caught the gist of it, grooms this woman into falling in love with him, and then he bounces back to the present time. So he goes past and present, past
Is that
and present.
Rachel McAdams?
That is.
She's in every.
How old is this?
Older.
Is
2009.
this post Wedding Crashers?
Yeah.
2009 would be.
Yes, it'd be post Wedding
Wedding
Crashers.
I remember the title of this, but I never saw it.
You should watch this movie. It's actually really good. But the whole bouncing back and forth thing is
It is.
because he also, when he time travels, he has no clothes on, so he pops up.
It's a weird detail.
Yeah, but I'm saying he pops up on this Rachel McAdams as a younger girl. So I would find Taylor when she was 18. She's 18. She's in probably Alberta, Canada. I go there. What's up? What's your name? Oh, Taylor. And then I would just.
Well, actually, at that point, she would just scream for her parents.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not naked, Josh. This is a different movie.
No. If you're going to talk to a kid at 5 years old, though, wait, how old is she when you're going to talk
You got
to
to
her?
watch the movie. I walked in halfway through the movie.
No, but you're talking to Taylor when she's 18.
Oh,
I'm
that's
talking to
different.
Taylor when she's 18.
Clear, yeah.
Okay.
Shit, I guess time traveling. I mean, I'm probably a couple thousand years old. I've lived multiple lives.
How old are you when you're talking to Taylor?
Let's just say probably a couple thousand. Like in real life,
That's what we're looking at here. Real life, yeah.
I'd go back to when I was 18 as well.
Yeah.
Stop all the tomfoolery.
Yeah.
Stop all the tomfoolery and just go find her right away. Like, come with me. Come with me, and you'll see. And I'd start a chocolate factory as well.
Oh,
And I'd find little people that are orange, and they'd work for me for free.
What are you
Watch this
calling
movie.
them?
Ah, dude, something like Loompa something, you know?
Yeah.
Loompas.
Also, About Time, which is another love story that circles around time travel that also features Rachel McAdams.
About Time, I know.
Great movie.
About Time's good.
I don't think I've seen this movie.
You would love it.
Yeah.
Makes you a little sad at points.
It is.
I'll tell you, I can't do sad anymore.
So does
dude.
It's a
Click.
good
Happy
sad.
sad.
I can't do
Yeah.
that. Taylon's got this thing right now where she sends me like Instagram, like DMs me Instagram things where it's like the relationship between a father and a daughter, and at this age, this, and at that age, I'll literally start crying immediately. So I just text her, I just DM her back. Nope. I'll be laying right next to her.
Bookmark
I'll see
it.
one. Nope.
Yeah.
Won't do it. Can't do it. I look at this photo 3 times an episode, and I'm like, I'm about to cry just looking at Willow. You become emotional when you have kids, you know. Not proud of it
You're not proud of it. Why not?
because I don't want to be.
Yeah, but I think that's more frat bro-y. You need to embrace.
Oh, Josh.
You need to embrace being an example.
I am very emotional, even for a man at any standard.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't apologize.
There's just pieces of me that like I just don't feel like being emotional, yet I see one little thing and it makes me emotional. I'm like, I don't feel like having that kind of day. So instead of rewinding time, I just don't look at it.
You just skip ahead.
I love to.
Yeah, you just get
I'd
past
love
it.
to.
That's fair.
I'd love to. Big 12. Texas Tech, BYU.
Yeah. Hey,
On
man,
one?
I'm not punting on BYU.
No one should.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are.
Why?
I don't know. They just have got it in their heads. It's Texas Tech in the field, and that may be the order of the odds. But I think Brigham Young's got something to say. They don't play him in the regular season this year. They do play Notre Dame in the regular season. Notre Dame playing one game for the season, and meanwhile, one of those games that apparently is a layup is in Provo, Utah. It's not a layup to me.
It's not a layup.
No, it's not.
I'll just say one. I know we're not going to just break down the Big 12 now. We're not going to do this, Sherm. But that second game on the schedule right there, whose schedule is this? BYU?
Very sneaky, yeah.
Sneaky.
Mhm.
I think Tucson, Arizona is a little sneaky this year.
Arizona as a state, a little sneaky.
I agree.
It's basically Vegas.
I agree.
and it snows there.
It's basically Vegas.
And it's got a huge meteorite landed in the middle of nowhere out there, right? Or was that New Mexico?
probably. It's probably New Mexico.
You remember we saw that?
Yeah.
What state was that?
That was flying to Arizona.
Yeah. It's just
But
out
we
there.
were flying from Tennessee, so it could have been any of those states.
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody likes Arizona.
Also-
That's all I remember.
Flights, fast forward.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
flying to LA in 12 hours, 6 hours, whatever it is.
Yeah, then commercial doesn't hurt you. If you don't have to go through the commercial flight process,
Yeah.
you fast forward through it, does the cumulative toll still get taken on your psyche when you arrive in the future?
Not my world. Not my world of having this.
Because you know what I went through last week.
I first off, it says a lot about our friendship that you share all
That's
that
what makes
information
me
with
emotional.
me. Yeah, absolutely. And I pray that we live in a world where Josh Pate never goes through TSA again.
One day.
One day
One day.
soon.
Very soon.
Before we get out of here, boys and girls, courtyard.io. Are you familiar with Courtyard?
Very familiar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Rip packs?
Oh, actually, I was thinking about the hotel chain.
No, this is way better than that.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so Courtyard is an app.
Mhm.
All right, on this app, clearly cards have become a big part of our lives, whether it's Pokemon and mostly Pokemon and football. But Courtyard doesn't just have that. They have baseball, they have basketball, they have One Piece, they have comic books, they have everything. They're also doing coins now as well. Watches, if you want to do that. You can go and spend a dollar figure from $25 all the way up to, I think the watches go to $15,000. And you basically do it and it randomizes, gives you something where you can get like if I can rip a $25 pack and sometimes pull like a $500 card.
Wow.
It can also go the other way. But when you rip these things, you can sell it right back for I think 90% of the estimated value of the card. You can send it to somebody. So if I pull something, you're like, oh, I'm a huge fan of insert name. I can send you that card. You can mail it to yourself. Or there's a marketplace, a whole social marketplace that Jared Beeman has become very accustomed to because he's ripping WNBA cards 24/7.
Caitlin Clark's doing well.
Caitlin Clark's doing well in your world, correct?
I've sold a lot of her cards.
Yes. So we, as a company, have partnered up with Courtyard. They are big in the card game. We've already established that. The National Card Convention in Chicago is taking place this week.
I did know that.
We are doing training camp tours, so we're not able to make it. Big misstep by Bussin with the Boys. Next year, we will fix that. But we went during Nashville's biggest card convention, and we picked up, I think, $40,000 worth of cards.
Ooh.
$40,000 worth of cards that we went, took, packaged, gave it to Courtyard. Courtyard is making a Bussin with the Boys template, logo, area where you can rip and pull those grails, those heaters. The number one card in that pack is a Kaju Cam Ward, rookie 2025 tops. That, and there's a bunch of other downtowns, a bunch of things you can pull. So we got a little vlog coming out there, a whole thing, dude. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Please enjoy some Courtyard. And if you are new to Courtyard, you download that app. You can use No Bad Days 15 for 15% off your first rip. No Bad Days, that's mine. And also, I got a little update. That promo code's going to go away soon because so many people have used it.
No.
It's a nice deal. Yes.
Come on.
Yes. All right, boys and girls. Listen, I did something. All right. Nashville had a card show. I went down to the Nashville card show. I handpicked my personal favorite football cards ever. Went around there, beautiful cards, immaculate all over the place. Courtyard is doing me a massive favor. They are turning them into the first ever Bussin' pack. First one ever. Some of the chase cards on there, we're going to put them on the list. You're going to see them right now. My personal favorite is the Cam Ward 2025 Topps Kaju card. That is the grail of this Bussin' pack. So if you pull one of my cards, all right, you're not just winning, you're also getting a ball. Taylor, we're getting a ball. What does that mean? You're getting a ball that's signed by not only myself, Taylor Lewan, but also my co-host, Will Compton. Your boys won football. Go grab a pack on Courtyard right now and use code NOBADDAYS15 for 15% off your first rip. It's Bussin' With The Boys, baby. Let's let it rip. And the Kaju that you're showing is just a raw card. The card that you can get on Courtyard is a PSA 10. PSA 10 is mint condition card. Doesn't get more valuable than that, boys and girls. Josh, would you like the last word before we end the show?
Would you like to ask Taylor the Bud Light question?
Is it any question I want?
It could be, or it could be a lot of people do anything for a Bud Light. What would Taylor Lewan do anything for?
What would you do?
Anything for?
Yeah.
Can't say family?
No. Family's very easy to lay up.
Yeah. What would I do anything for? Dude, I would do anything to wake up on a Friday morning in the fall, go to the airport, get on a plane with two great buddies, fly to a destination where a football game is about to take place that might define the entire season, hell, a generation, and talk about that game with my two friends for an hour on a major media platform.
For your country.
For my country, for my people. And then I'd love to travel to Las Vegas, Nevada with the boys during the national championship and do the same damn thing.
Phew, man.
That's what I personally would do anything for. Anything. But that's just me, dude. I'm just a guy, man.
Dare to dream, though.
Dare to dream.
Dare to dream.
I'm a dreamer. I'm an optimist. What can you say? That's life. We feel good, boys?
Feel good.
Hell of a sode.
Yeah. Lunchtime.
Appreciate you coming.
Pleasure. Get well soon, Will.
Round of applause for Josh Pate, Commissioner of College Football, the one and only. Please subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and comment. Big hugs, tiniest of kisses.